A little confirm live button. This story is called Alex the Killer. So my name is Alex, as you probably know. I am 29, but someone, as you most likely know, is possessing me. That's all I have to say about myself. So one day I was walking down the street, and I saw a girl. Her name was Raven Black, a very lesser-known Slenderman proxy. Most don't know her, but I do. So I was trying to sleep when Jeff said to me in my mind, he is possessing me, "Alex, give me your body." At first I said no, but he said, "I will let you keep your sanity, and I will have control of your body." So I said, "Hey, why the hell not?" Then I fell asleep. Oh no, don't sleep! You're not supposed to sleep, it's Jeff the Killer! You gotta watch out for this sort of stuff. Then I felt a sharp pain and fainted. I kind of wake up, but not my control, in Jeff's control. Raven was looking for two other Slenderman proxies, Thicky Toby and Masky. She said, "They are in hell." There was a hole to hell, so we went to the hole and went to hell. We saw something, and it held up the place, and I didn't know it was a trap, so I said, "On three, run just in case. 1, 2, 3, I said, and then touch it. Then the place starts caving in, and we got out in time. How do I know all this? Jeff tells me everything, or I see it. But then we found him, and I throw Jeff's spirit out of me and ran. He never found me again. But that's when I started killing. I killed people and said, "It's okay, shh," and then I kill them. I picked them off one by one. Then I even carved into my mouth, and a big scar was left. So it has gone on for years now. So one night in my house I saw Logan, a friend of mine. He said, "Alex, I know we were friends and all, but your killing spree has gone too far." Then he did something stupid, and tried to stab me with my own knife. But I surprised him, and kicked him in the ribs hard, and there was a loud crack which was his bones. Then my advantage came, and I grabbed the knife and stabbed into his heart. I told him before I stabbed, "Logan, I'm partially sorry, but you tried to kill me, so now you have to die." Now today, I'm in a blood-stained red hoodie and red mask over my face, which looks like it has no eye holes. It has a smile and a frown on the mouth. Don't do anything stupid around me, or else. Alex. Yo, thank you for becoming a member again, Carrie B. Happy 34 months. It's almost 3 years. That's insane. This story was extremely confusing and worrisome. Raven Black. Is that like a well-known creepypasta character? Yo, Ari Mason, welcome to Rollerbud. Congratulations on your membership. Appreciate you a lot. Okay, let's get into another story. I really don't know what to make of that. It was very... I don't know, there was like Jeff was controlling him, there were other Slenderman proxies. This one's just called video games. Quote, video games, unquote. Yeah, a smile and a frown, I don't know how those two can exist simultaneously, but that's what makes it creepy. It's mind-bending. Strange, don't you think? These video games, mere pixels, yet people are willing to go to great lengths to get them. Does it not intrigue you that we humans are so transfixed by video games? Though we were perfectly happy churning butter or sitting with our families before then. Well, it intrigues me. Very recently, there was a game released titled Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that goes against human decency and morals, yet people are willing to stay up at midnight in a line waiting for it. Oh, I miss midnight releases so much, dude. I'm sure they still happen, but, like, we're definitely past the heyday. And break into a fit when it gets delayed by half an hour. Personally, I think it is truly pitiful that people are willing to line up for such a game, where you break the law in millions of ways. What I get concerned about the most is the children. Children recently take no warning to the age warnings on games, and will happily buy an M-rated game from a store as a 10-year-old. Usually with the cashier accepting this, and the parents not being concerned about any of this. Is this person just, like, mad about video? Like, I don't even get where this is creepy yet. Maybe it's not just the games, but modern society too. There's never a waking hour when two countries are not fighting and risking its population over unnecessary competitions of who's the toughest. All global war, guys, all global war is just competitions of who's the toughest. It's just a pissing contest. It has nothing to do with, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what global war is about. Maybe he's right. Truly pitiful. Think back to a few centuries ago, when there were in fact hours where 2 centuries weren't fighting, when people listened to warnings, when we weren't risking each other's lives over pointless things. Where did those times go? Oh yeah, the past. Oh, that past where no wars happened at all. Everything was just peaceful before video games. Video games, oh my god, the world, we were just at, like, world peace before video games got invented. And then, you know, once the Magnavox Odyssey was in homes, it was over. They disappeared like sands in an hourglass, lost in the winds of time. As we get more and more advanced, we will only get more and more harmful and destructive with bigger wars, bigger weapons, and bigger risks. If we don't stop this, all life on this planet will end, and it will be our fault. Can we really live like this? This is just food for thought. There are many more things to be concerning ourselves with. Game over. This isn't a creepypasta. This is just somebody, like, trying to sound smart. I don't know. Wow. I guess the creepiness of the creepypasta is just supposed to be we live in a society. Correct, Tammy. I think that was actually the underlying message in this whole story. Oh, this one's nice. So this story is just called A, and it seems like it's one of those, like, ABCs. A is for autopsy. A is for autopsy, after I find where you lay. B is for bash, which I do to your skull all day. C is for crying, which you will undoubtedly do. D is for death, which is coming for you. E is for eviscerate. Your insides will become mine. F is for flee, but you will not have time. G is for grope, which you will do after I remove your eyes. Okay, I just had the weirdest idea. What if this, like, creepypasta killer's, like, whole plan was to rip out somebody's eyes and then force them, because they're blind now, to accidentally grope a woman and then get in trouble for that? That was just, like, the whole plan of the creepypasta enemy. H is for help, but they will pass it off as lies. I is for infinite, regarding how much you will suffer. J is for joker, but I am not a bluffer. K is for killer, which is why you should run. L is for life. To play with yours is fun. M is for memory, of which I will keep. N is for nitrogen, just to help you sleep. They're really reaching now. O is for orifice, out of every one blood will pour. P is for plead, yours I will ignore. Q is for quiet, if you are so kind. R is for recital, this stuck into my mind. Is that recital or rectal? I don't know. S is for superficial, the cuts will be not. T is for torture, I'll make sure your blood does not clot. U is for ultraviolet, light needed to see the mess. V is for violence, but I'd prefer if there was less. W is for weapons, against which you pleaded. X is for xenobiotic, the poison is much needed. You know that they had to start dictionarying it up for fucking X. Y is for yell, but nobody will hear. Z is for zone, yours of which I am near. And to put it quite blunt, now begins the hunt. I hate it so much. Like, anytime there's, like, a poetry in one of these, or some, like, sort of letter scheme like this, you can tell that the only thing that mattered to them was having something for each letter and rhyming. Everything else was just to fit that structure, and so it makes it suck. Like, just don't do your creepypastas like this. It is not ideal. Oh, Goodbye Gary. We might get to that one later, because it's a little bit longer, and I want to warm up into the reading. I'm not a good reader, so I need to make sure I practice my reading, I get started. Everybody get hydrated. This is on the creepypasta or trollpasta.org. It's on the Trollpasta wiki. If you look up bad creepypasta on Google, this whole wiki of creepypasta should show up. There's other stuff on here, but I haven't looked at anything else. This story is called Tails Doll Will Kill You If You Click This. So I'm already fucked. You guys might actually still have a chance. Tails Doll will kill you if you click this. One of the computers in the library at my old elementary school had a haunted link shortcut on the Google homepage titled Tails Doll will kill you if you click this. Now, I've played Sonic R, and I thought the Tails doll was creepy as hell. I've seen someone click on the shortcut, and it takes you to this blinding image of the Tails doll along with the error message saying, Tails doll EXE has stopped responding, even though there isn't a file on the computer named Tails doll EXE. I saw the kid that had clicked on it. He told the librarian, but when she checked, there was nothing there. I didn't see him at all the next day, and 2 days later, I saw a news report saying the kid had gone missing from his bedroom at 9:30 p.m. There were muddy footsteps leading to the bedroom door, and there was blood on his bed sheets. The day after that, I saw a news report saying that the kid was found dead in the creek next to my house. His stomach had been ripped open, and his arm was gone. They said they found a Tails doll plushie nearby the creek, and it had blood on it. But somehow they denied that it had murdered the kid. One day in the library, I was curious about the link, so I told one of my friends, and told him not to click it. But the library somehow overheard us, and led us over to a private area to tell us something. She said that 2 years ago, she found the bloody Tails doll bushy. Fuck! She said that 2 years ago, she found the bloody Tails doll plushie in the room we were sitting in. But the next day, it was gone, and that exact link was found on the computer. She said that there was a file titled tailsdoll.exe that had appeared on the hidden folder on the desktop before the day it had disappeared. The librarian said never to click on the shortcut link, or else you'd be murdered by the Tails doll too. I can still remember what the URL said. HTTPS, he is coming for you. Help me. You will die. You will die. You will die. I am coming for you. Every time I do a search it up, it says that the URL has been deleted by a source named tailsdoll.exe. The other day I had searched it up and saw that source name, and I had memories of what happened to that kid. What is this school? You're just getting kids murdered. The librarian knows about it. Like, can you not just, like, reboot the computers? Or, like, why are they gay in the back rooms? Listen, that's just what people do in the back rooms. I'm not here to judge anybody's choices. You know, 2 creepypasta characters. As long as Jeff's of age, you know, Slenderman, go to town. Yo, Jacques, thank you for the €5. Thanks. I'm glad that you like the content and my positivity. I try to be as positive as possible. It's much harder in real life. It's really easy to, like, be positive on the internet when you're, like, in control of everything that's happening. So, yeah, I try to put the good stuff out there. I hope everybody's having a good night and staying hydrated. Make sure that you keep drinking water. This one is called The Dark Attic. Hello, my name is Kevin. I live in a countryside in Edmonton. Ooh, Canada story. A little city. I actually lived near the city. I moved there in 2004. It started on January 12th. Hey Moira, what's wrong? Okay, so this person has either played Fallout 3 or fucking Overwatch. One of the two, for sure. Hey Moira, what's wrong? I said. My sis. Moira said... Wait. Okay, this is really confusing. My sis, Moira said. So I'm guessing the sister's name is Moira. No, but actually this house is giving me the creeps. I noticed that she wasn't happy with the new house. Me and her actually loved living in the public residential area. But you can't live in the same place all your life, right? Well, maybe not. Anyway, my mom, Kate, was very happy with the house. She was just feeling normal about the house. I was just feeling normal about the house. As one does. I'm feeling normal. 2 hours later, we were having our first dinner in the house. Suddenly, we heard a smash in the attic. We all jumped up and looked what the hell was going on. What the hell? My dad, Levin, said that my dad loved the house. What the fuck is this sentence? Okay, wait, we need to go back. My dad, Levin, said that, period. My dad loved the house, ! Period. So dad's talking in the third... No, he's not even talking in the third person. He's saying, my dad... So I guess this person's grandpa loves the house because the dad is saying, my dad loved the house. Okay. By the way, my sis was only 10. I was only 14. We looked all around the place. My heart was pounding. Then my sis noticed it was a lamp in the attic. Oh no, I hate when it's a lamp in the attic. Suddenly, we were all calm. We went back to eating. 5 hours later, I was about to go to sleep because it was 4:23. I was playing with my Xbox 360, MW2 of course. Hehehe. My family were sleeping like a knocked out boxer. Then, a noise like someone kicked a wooden plank. I suddenly took a flashlight and went up to the attic. Then that creature was there. He was staring at me like a camera. I just screamed, and it grabbed me. I went into a blackout for about 30 minutes. I woke up when my mom was hanged. It was horrible. I ran out of the house and drove out. All of a sudden, I crashed because I was 14, and I didn't know how to drive. Then I started to run, and a creature appeared in front of me. I fell down and fell into a coma. A coma with a K. This, I don't even know, guys. I woke up in the attic, hearing police sirens outside, with blood covered all over me. Okay. I'm pretty sure you were just passed out, because if you're in a coma, I feel like that's a long amount of time. I don't know. And my family was dead, and the bodies were covering me. I cursed that day when I moved into that house. The attic is haunting my dreams. The creature was trying to kill me. I can't say anything. That is rough. What a tragic story. The sister knew. She said the house is giving her the creeps. He said, I just feel normal in this house. This house makes me feel normal. I was just feeling normal about the house, you know, as one does. But he doesn't have the instincts that his sister does. Okay. This one's called ! Doctor. He had always been different, but not necessarily crazy different. He was always humiliated by his fellows for his love of the paranormal and for his vast knowledge on the subject. But no more. One day, years ago, he followed them home after school. Every one of them. Jordan had laughed at his eccentric attire. He shot Jordan in the head. Sarah had laughed when he asked her to prom. He strangled her with a necktie. Aaron had made fun of his fake accent. He killed him with a crowbar. And the rest? The rest who just ridiculed him every day for his love of information, for his intellectual mind. Well, he left them a little present of C4 under every one of their cars. Every last goddamn one of them. He didn't go home last night. He moved out of the country and across the world. And he spends nights among people who understood him, on the internet, broadening his vast collection of paranormal information. He chose to adopt and identify for himself, I'm just going on, that night so that everyone would know him, and he would no longer be ridiculed, but loved, famous, adored. But what persona to adapt? What name to go by on the paranormal boards online? Well, he had always wanted to be a doctor. What is this story? Everything just happens too fast. Like, I know that I'm specifically picking shorter stories because they're just, like, easier to consume, and if they're really bad, like, not interesting type bad, you can just get in and out of them, but everything's just happening way too fast. You know, people are laughing his attire, he kills them, he plants C4 under everybody's cars, and then he wants to go by a doctor so people, but these are paranormal message boards. Does anybody actually believe that, like, people's usernames mean their profession? Like, and what is that, yeah, I just don't know. I also like that Aaron made fun of his fake accent, implying that he has a fake accent. So he was just going around like, beepity boppity, oh, oh. That's what he was talking like. Thoughts from Isalidus. Ah, yes, the coma to murder pipeline. Thank you so much for the $2. Greatly appreciate you. Alright, let's exit out of some of these that we've already read. Video games. Oh my god, this one was so rough, dude. Okay. Entity. I switched the record program on and prepared to record a video. Hey, that's what I do. I was going to record a video of how to professionally survive a day in Minecraft. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to shame any bad gamers out there. I feel like you don't have to try that hard to survive a day in Minecraft. I'm not sure how you would do it professionally, but regardless, it was going to be my first web Minecraft video. I was rather excited to make it, and to see the comments of my fellow gamers. Thus, I switched the program on, and introduced myself. I moved my mouse onto the Minecraft shortcut on my taskbar, and clicked. The Minecraft launcher loaded up, but something was terribly wrong. The frame of the launcher looked like the usual, but the screen was black. I frowned and apologized to the viewers, trying to make up for it by claiming that it was an Easter egg or something similar. To be honest, I believed it was an Easter egg myself. Then why are you making stuff up? Never mind. To be honest, I believed it was an Easter egg myself. Finally, the screen started to show an image. A startling image. The image was of a bloody handprint leaking off the launcher and onto my regular desktop. I again apologized to the viewers with a stuttering voice, and hoped they understood. I lied that it was fake, and with trembling fingers, moved my mouse. Suddenly the handprint disappeared. I stared at a single message where the updates usually were. It is here. Sincerely, Notch. P.S. Sign off immediately. Notch, sending out the mixed messages. Like, you're saying, it is here. Sign off immediately. Like, why are you throwing that in a PS? I'm confused. I read the message over and over, fussing over what that could possibly mean. I did not bother to tell my viewers that this time. It was also fake. Wait, what? I pressed play and ignored the warning. The Mojang screen loaded up, and then the entire screen turned black. I thought that maybe it was just a glitched crash. The home screen appeared, but the background was entirely black, and there was a single button. There's no escape, it said. I screamed softly. How do you scream softly? Ah! That's my attempt at a soft scream. Then hoped to edit the scream out of my video later, as one does. Suddenly, in the background, a sobbing girl appeared, crying tears of blood. She wasn't pixelated, but looked lifelike. She pressed her palms against my screen and wailed. I was so transfixed that I pressed the button. I looked in horror at what I had done. Now, I was teleported into a Minecraft jungle, with ocelots running around as usual. I looked up at the sky, and realized that the sky was black and thundery. It started raining. I realized the rain was unusually red. So tears, blood, rain is red were very scary here. I looked back down and realized the ocelots disappeared. Okay, to be fair, that would actually unsettle me if I was playing Minecraft and there were a bunch of cute-ass ocelots running around and then they all disappeared at once. It's a pretty good plot point. With her back to me was a pixelated girl in white robes with long blonde hair. She was emitting strangled sobbing noises, like the one in the home screen. I egged on my viewers to keep watching. Wait, are you streaming, or is this like a regular-ass video? I tapped the shift button and slowly advanced on the girl. Quickly, the girl whipped around, and her face had an evil grin. And then, my game crashed. I tried to post the video on any Minecraft-accepting web, but it was always deleted. What does that even mean, Minecraft-accepting web? Like, are we talking about the World Wide Web and that... what? I'm so confused with that statement. Later, I got an email saying, entity, you've been warned. Warning, the entity is not real, so don't quote this post saying that it is. Thanks, this is only a made-up creepypasta. Why would you ruin... Like, I was terrified. I was about to never load up Minecraft again. But then at the end of it, You tell me it's a made-up creepypasta, so I can't even be scared anymore. Come on, bro. Taking me out of the frickin'... Okay, Alex the Killer we already did. That one was really bad. That one was just, like, unironically not good. Oh, this one's also bad. I kind of read it before stream. Okay, I kind of want to read this one called Joe. I was trying to look for, like, more Family Guy creepypastas, because they're probably my favorite. But there's no Joe Swanson creepypastas. Yo, Eric C., thank you for the $10. I love the thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad you like the videos. Joe. Joe's just such a funny name. Anyway, Bella awoke from her slumber, climbed out of bed, and walked downstairs and started fuck my ball sack with a toothbrush, bro. Gosh darn it. Thank you for the $10, by the way, Eric. Frick. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna read it right and correctly because I'm a professional reader online. I love $10. No, I was gonna say I love you, but I'm trying to, like, get out of the habit of saying I love you to viewers because I don't want to create a frickin' parasocial relationship with you guys. I just want to... We can be buds. Drink water. Not with a toothbrush. That was an accident. Anytime that I say something involving balls, it is almost entirely involuntary. It just splurts out. Okay, this is a fucking wall of text, but we'll chip away at it together. Bella awoke from her slumber, climbed out of bed and walked downstairs and saw it waiting for her. A little white rabbit. It was Easter, her favorite holiday. Bella loved Easter because of the sole fact that the character of the holiday was a rabbit. She loved rabbits. She had rabbit wallpaper, rabbit pajamas, rabbit everything. That was behind her now when she found out what she... That was behind her now when she found what she had wanted for so many years. This rabbit was white, with movable ears and appendages. Okay, so it's not a real rabbit, it's like a toy. He was perfect. To Bella, anyways. It had odd, twisted smiles stitched onto its face with black button eyes. She named it Joe. Bella thought he was perfect. She picked him up and carried him off to her room. Her father came in. "So what did the Easter Bunny bring you?" She showed it to him. He looked at it, and his eyes widened at its smile. When he looked at it, he saw what his daughter didn't see. It had bloody stitched smile, but he had looked away, and it was gone. He shrugged it off and left his daughter to play with her new toy. Bella came up to her father a short while later and said that Joe had talked to her. "Oh, really?" he laughed. "What did he say?" Bella frowned. "He said that he doesn't like you," she replied. "Oh, why is that?" Her father asked as Bella frowned even more. "Because you saw his smile, and you're not supposed to. Nobody but me is supposed to see it." Her father thought this was very odd, because it had happened when he saw it had a bloody smile earlier. She then walked away, and played in her room until her father said, "Hey, time for dinner." I just realized that I want to use the Joe Swanson voice anyway. I should have started that from the beginning, but regardless. She walked out of the kitchen and sat down. "Hey, where's Joe?" her father asked. Bella looked down at her plate. He doesn't want to eat with us. I don't know why he doesn't like you, Daddy." "Well, that's okay, baby. As long as he likes you, I'm fine with it." She looked up. "But I want him to like you." Her father smiled. "Hey, it's okay. I'm just glad you have a friend to play with." She ate her dinner and went to bed. Her father was almost asleep when he heard giggling coming from Bella's playroom. "Why isn't that kid in bed?" He walked to her playroom, flicked on the light, but the only thing in there was the rabbit. He thought it was very odd. He walked to Bella's room and opened the door just enough to see her bed. Bella was fast asleep. He walked back to where the rabbit was. What? Oh my god, I lost my space. Oh. He walked to where the rabbit was. He walked to where the rabbit was, picked it up, and brought it back to his daughter's room, and placed it next to her and walked back to bed. The next morning, he saw Bella playing with Joe and asked her, "Hey, how come I heard laughing coming from your playroom? Were you not in bed?" "Joe doesn't sleep," she replied. "He just plays all night and never sleeps." He took notice to this. The fact that Joe apparently played all night scared him. He decided to take Bella out just to get away from Joe for a while. He took her to the zoo, but all she wanted to do was look at the rabbits. So her father decided to take her home, figuring she was just missing her friend. When they got home, Bella walked into her room and screamed. Her pet cat Zoe was hanging from the light chain by its neck. He ran in and saw it, and his heart sank. He grabbed Bella and held her close. She was crying. He pulled the cat off the light chain, put her in a pillowcase, and buried. Is that what people do with animals that have died? They put them in pillowcases and bury them? I mean, I guess. I'm not gonna judge, actually. Her father thought that maybe she was playing with the chain and got caught since the chain was pretty long. I mean, I guess that's a possibility. Bella ran up to him and hugged him and said, "Is she in a better place?" He kneeled down and said, "Yeah, baby. Now why don't we run you a bath?" After the bath, she went to bed. She was almost asleep when she heard a tiny voice calling to her. "Bella, come and play." Being the curious 8-year-old she was, she walked towards the voice and saw her rabbit standing on its hind legs. "Hey, wanna play?" Oh my god, that voice hurts a lot. Bella's father woke up the next morning and walked into Bella's room and saw her. She was pinned to the wall upside down. She had died from too much blood in the head. Her father sank to his knees and saw a message scrawled in blood. "You shouldn't have taken her from me." He turned around and saw Joe. "This just in. Man murdered his 8-year-old daughter. He pinned her to the wall upside down and she died from too much blood to head, and he framed a small stuffed rabbit. He is now locked up in a hospital for the criminally insane for life. I know he did it. He murdered the baby girl." Oh wait, no, this is Joe. Or this is not Joe, this is the dad. "I know he did it. He murdered my baby girl. He murdered my life, my pride and joy." This is not a good Joe voice, fuck. "My only reason for waking up in the morning. I know he did. Don't you believe me?" You know the story. Don't you believe me? A few years later, a young woman and her daughter went to a yard sale, and she saw the rabbit. "Oh, Mommy, isn't he perfect?" Joe smiled. That was fucking rough. Thank you, Avery Davis. Always love to see that circle that you're streaming. Been watching the vid since around 2019, and I'm always happy to see an upload. Happy holidays. Yo, happy holidays to you, too, and a happy premature new year. Thank you for the $10. I was gonna do one of these, but these work, too. Don't you believe? I love how the newscaster included that the dad tried to frame a stuffed animal for the murder. And then, of course, she died from too much blood to the head. Can you actually die from being upside down for too long? Are there any, like, medical professionals in the audience right now? I keep viewer zoning you guys. I just don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. Bond's Burgers technical support tape. Oh, wait, no, fuck. Is this like some sort of Five Nights at Freddy's type thing? I thought this was Bob's Burgers, but it's Bond's Burgers. Okay, let's check it out. Let's see what's going on here. There's a VHS tape involved, so you know it's gotta be scary. Wilt said you can die from being upside. I trust Wilt. He's pretty much the closest thing we got to a doctor here. It's at least not great for you. That makes sense. Chapter 1. Story. Before I was even born, my brother worked at the company Bunny Smiles Incorporated's restaurant titled Bond's Burgers. In the year 1983, the company was getting so close that he got some VHS tapes to remember the times he worked at the... Oh, it was going to close. I don't know why. It was going to close. So he got some VHS tapes to remember the times he worked at the company and the restaurant, and he left it in the attic. Many years passed, and he forgot that he had the VHS tapes in the attic. One day, my dad wanted me to get a toy from the attic to give my little sister so she doesn't cry. And when I went to the attic... Okay. So your sister's crying. Your dad's like, she needs a toy. Get her a toy. Is there not a toy that isn't in the attic to give this child? Like, why do you have to send another child up to the attic for a toy? Anywho, when I went to the attic, I found the toy and the box of dusty VHS tapes, so I bought the toy and the box. After I brought both of the items, I asked my brother what it is, and he answered, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, but I don't remember. I really hope I can remember soon." After my brother responded, played my VHS tape, and this is how it went. Chapter 2, VHS tape. The tape started with a blue background and a cartoon rabbit drawing zooming out, and then a yellow text appeared after the icon zoomed out, and the text was titled, "Bon's Burgers." Then another yellow text appeared in the top, and the text was titled, "A Cyber Fun Tech, Buddy Smiles Inc. Restaurant 1974. Then all of the thing faded into a white background with two drawings, and one a drawing of the character Bon with a construction hat, and two a drawing of a red bow tie. The scene also had two texts. One, a yellow text in the middle titled Technical Support, and two, a black text in the top titled Bunny Smiles Incorporated. Then a text-to-speech bot said, "Hi and welcome to the introductory tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated." Okay, hate to break your immersion of the story, but I'm pretty sure text-to-speech bots did not exist in 1974. But anyways, welcome to your job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated. You have applied to a job in technical support and maintenance. What does this job particularly mean? Then it fades into an 8-bit animation with 8-bit kids and an 8-bit Bon fading in and walking forwards with his arm while the TTS bot is saying, "It means that you, amongst other employees, are the ones who will take care of creating a magical and fun experience for Bon's Burgers." Then it fades into footage of the animatronics singing songs that honestly made me hum the songs that the animatronics were singing. After that, it transitions into the introductory of the animatronics while the TTS is saying, "There are the showstoppers Bon, Shaw, Boozoo, and Banny a Computer, animated band made by BSI to entertain children. As a technician, you'll be given the role as facility caretaker. Around this fun and magical journey, we will work on certain tasks such as..." Then it showed pictures of what jobs a facility caretaker is supposed to do, while the TTS is saying, "Cleaning protocols, robot maintenance and repairs, and learning how to use BSI technology." But first, here is a message from Jack Walton and Felix Kranken, our beloved founders. Is this related to some, analog horror series? Wait, text-to-speech was invented in 1968? Holy fuck. That's crazy. I feel really dumb now. Anywho, while the TTS continues saying, "Which reads in BSI, the most important thing to us isn't about the money or the rating. The most important thing is that you have a wonderful experience while working with us." After that picture faded, and the cartoon version of Bon giving a thumbs up to us while the TTS is speaking. That being said, with the Bon's Burgers restaurant being opened in a few weeks, we're look forward to achieving this dream with you. Then the background turns red and the drawing is stretched. After that, the scene is cut to a different scene with a green background about a different place titled Canine Storage Facility. They're literally just re-fucking telling the whole Walton files in a much worse format for this sort of thing, but I'll get into my full review at the end. And then I found it was by BSI. The scene had a logo and a picture of the place and 3 text. 1, a yellow text titled Save, Restore, Secure. 2, a white text with a black stroke titled L, Juana's Forest, Private Forest. And 3, a white text titled The BSI Storage Facility, also known as the K9, is a company project to storage all valuable items from the closed-for-good Bons Burgers restaurant, given the situations about the incidents inside the 1974 Bons Burgers location. Any type of props, animatronics, and arcade machines will be carefully removed, inspected, secured inside a bunker located deep down in St. Juana's Forest for good. Holy shit, that was a sentence. A facility caretaker will take care of securing the facility and keeping it safe, working property. Then a text and logo goes green, and the picture goes away, and the background turns black. After that, a scene turned purple, and after that scene, a purple and gray rabbit speaks. You finally start to remember that old day. They'll be back for you soon, Sophie. Then the VHS tape ended. I really didn't think that the VHS was that scary or disturbing. I did get some sleep with very few nightmares about the purple and gray rabbit, or the animatronics, but little did I know this was just the beginning of something. This comes from, the name Creepypasta comes from a copypasta. This is horrendous, you guys. Like, this is pretty much just a retelling of that whole Walton Files analog horror video, except there are so many visual elements that are just explained really poorly in words. Like, it's almost like part of what made this creepy is, like, you're actually watching the instructional tape and you're actually watching all this stuff, and it's not just being dictated to you by someone who cannot write well. God, that was fucking rough. I love it, though. That was really delightful. Oh, if there's, like, another... Wait, let me just check out the category. I wonder... I'm gonna look around a little bit. I'm gonna drink some water. You guys should do the same. Yo, the stream is going well. I like you guys. Sounded like a 10-year-old submission to SPC. SCP. Alright, let me, oh man, I'm like addicted to Bons Burgers now. I just want more stories by that specific person. I want to cry. But anyway, we'll find something else. Oh, Planet Theory. This one looked good. This one looked really good. Planet Theory. Don't you love the planet you live on? You know, planet Earth. Well, this planet you call home is just a lie. You live on a giant rock that is painted over with life by beings called Creador de Vida. And they painted over the rock you called Earth. Nura Reta Iwa is what you called your planet. Nura Reta Iwa. I feel like this person's gonna make me say the N-word with their weird made-up words, but let's just hope they don't. Nura Reta Iwa is what they called your planet. You are all toys to them. You are just dolls in a giant test. The Creador de Vida made everything you see. They are the real gods. If you die going against the rules of the gods... Oh, if you die, you going against the rules of the gods. No clue what that means. The gods are very simple and not simple at the same time. Take your life, you will be punished. Get your life taken, you will be punished. Live longer, more the chances you will get a better ending for your life when you die. In the year of 3018, the gods are gonna reform the planet named Earth. Okay, here's the thing, don't say gonna in your creepypasta, I'm just throwing it out there. And any planet near it, but not the sun. So they're gonna reform everything. The sun is called Nino Sol thanks to the gods. The gods use the sun to make planets or remake planets, and that's how dinosaurs had left the planet by being remade. The bones left on the planet now are some of the dinosaurs that were left to be seen by the humans, and the humans are called Tu Anthropou by the gods. Stars are towns filled with gods. The moon has one god called Luna Estrella Rey. This god can also be called Luna, the god of the moon star. If you don't pray to Luna at least once a month, you will get punished by the Niño soul will come closer to burst the earth rock. The more people die, the more gods become angry with this test of humans. Soon this test will stop, and the gods will stop caring and will let all the planets die off and make better creatures. The god of light and dark, called Senini Senu Kopi, will never stop loving humans, but will do sins to make the world of Earth bad and good. What the fuck? This is so bad. Like, it's like they were like, oh, let's just rename everything. Like, let's shift the viewer's perspective. This is what's actually going on behind the scenes. Does drinking your own Navy/Orange Fanta hydrate oneself like water? That is cursed, Christian Weston Chandler. Thank you for the $1. But I hate you for making me think about that again. This is wild. PlayStation suffer. That sounds intimidating. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. This video is actually sponsored by my music channel. Oh, frick, I'm stupid. Oh my god, I'm dumb. Oh my god, I'm stupid and dumb. Okay, never mind. This video is not sponsored by my music channel. We'll do that bit later. For now, we're just gonna read PlayStation suffer. You guys see everything? Okay, I think we're chilling. Oh my god, my ear's so itchy and I want to itch it, but I don't want to, like, touch the inside of my ear on stream. I'll grab a Q-tip later. Do you guys like Q-tipping? Like, do you guys enjoy the sensation of cleaning the inside of your ear? I actually need... No, I'm not gonna do it. It's too early in the stream. The story is called PlayStation Suffer, Squeaky Chair. Gaming is my passion. Nothing can beat it. But the only problem is I don't have a gaming console. Until now. Well, I just got a job at Sony a couple months ago as a graphic editor, game creator. And for job reasons, I just got given a PS3 for game testing, so I had ideas about creating the games which I was relieved about. I couldn't explain how happy I was about it, so I rushed home to set it up. I was feeling better than before, but there was something weird going on. Every single word in the instruction leaflet was scribbled out, only left with the pictures, which thought was suspicious, but I just left it because it was getting late and I wanted to get to bed. That morning, I went out to get some games since I didn't have any yet. So the company gave you a PS3, but they didn't give you any games. Understandable. So I went to a dodgy-looking secondhand store with a sign saying, "Cheap secondhand games." I couldn't resist, so I strolled inside to see what there was. Believe it or not, the games looked brand new, with nothing wrong with them, but they were secondhand because it said that on the label, which I don't understand. Neither do I, buddy. So I went out and picked out 2 games and purchased them. But when I left, the man said to me in a sinister voice, saying, "Hope you don't die playing these games." I thought nothing of it, so I just left the store and headed home. The 2 games I bought were Borderlands 2 and Red Dead Redemption. Those are good games. Since it was my day off, I tried to get out of the games I bought. So I placed Borderlands 2 in the console and started a new game. But something wasn't right here. Every single weapon I got out of the game... Fuck my balls. Every single weapon I got from the chests was the rare orange-classed weapon, which you hardly ever get. And there weren't any enemies in the game either. Weird. I thought I would swap discs over because I thought it was just a minor bug that needed resting. So I put Red Dead Redemption in the console, but that was worse. Okay. Game bugs, you don't just have the game rest and then it's fixed. Most of the time. I don't know. But I like the idea of, like, the game going to bed and, like, feeling better and no longer having bugs anymore. That's very cute. So I put Red Dead Redemption in the console, but that was worse. The home screen was bloody and red, and human organs were hanging everywhere. Then all of a sudden, a death-defying scream came up at full blast in the background, and it was the scariest thing I had ever seen. So I switched the disc over again to Borderlands 2, but it was worse than before. Every word in the game was scribbled out like in the manual, and everything had blood and guts hanging from every place possible, and every enemy was immensely hard to kill. I had enough of this, so I took out the discs, snapped them into pieces, and burnt them in ashes. But when I got back, the manual of the console wasn't where I left it, so I looked inside. Nothing was scribbled out anymore, but the sentence, "You will suffer," repeated through the whole booklet, saying nothing else but that line. But also, on the switched-off TV was the same sentence, "You will suffer," but with blood splattered all over the TV screen. Real blood, all over the screen. I thought it couldn't get any worse, but then a picture popped up on the TV screen. It was the scariest picture I'd ever seen. I couldn't take it any— Describe the scary picture! Come on! I couldn't take it any longer, so I picked up the PS3 and chucked it at the TV. Wait, why do you have to destroy your TV in this process? The TV sparked out, but still had the message on it, so I just collected my stuff and left the house. But as soon as I got out the door, someone was standing there with a gun to my head, and he pulled the trigger, and bang! My life was over. What? Why? Like, oh God, guns are so not scary. Like, in real life, yes, guns very scary. In scary media, guns are the least scary way you can kill another person. And then, when the story's in first person, and you inform us that your life is over, how are you telling us that your life is over if you're like dead, you know? I don't know. That's funny. PlayStation suffer. Oh, Bond's Burgers. That might be the best one so far. Let's gather some new ones. Oh no. The S word. Red Balloon Media. Shiny Until Death. Simon. Simple. Simpsons, Why Did You Leave Me? The Sims 3 creepypasta. Any Sims 3 players up there? Duck you, they're a ghost. Oh, I love Welcome to the Game. I actually have never played the Welcome to the Game games, but I like watching John Wolfe play the Welcome to the Game games. He's very good at playing games. I'm opening up a bunch. Oh, this one's too long. Is it too long? It might actually not be. Okay, this one's very simple. It's called Simple. I cried as you and your friends made fun of the way I looked. I cried and cried while you hit me and called me bad names. You told your friends to call me names and punch me in the stomach. I was crying. You didn't stop punching and calling me names. I was just sitting there saying stop and please don't do this. You progressed and started pinching me and calling other people to join in. I ran while everyone was laughing. I still remember that day. I hope you changed, because I have. What is this story? What is this story? It's literally just like, fuck, why did you bullies do this? I still remember that day. I hope you changed, because I have. There's like nothing scary. It's just somebody got bullied and they're sad about it still. Simple. Why? I guess it is simple. It's something. There's something to that. That's true. All right, this one's a little bit long. This one's okay. Sleepover gone wrong. Okay, that one's really long. F that one. Oh god, this one's super long. I don't know how these people write these long creepypastas. Let's check this one out. Shiny Until Death. I guess it starts with me. Actually, it starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. The design is right to explain in due time. I think I actually fucked up the lyrics, but anyway, the song slaps. Shiny Until Death. I guess it starts with me. I'm not a kid in school, and my parents give me a reward. Wait, what? I'm not a kid in school. What? Oh, I'm not a kid in school, and my parents give me a reward for every A I get. With the final report card, I had gotten 4 A's this year. Okay, so you are kind of an A student, you're just inspired by the money. And that resolved in a prize of one of the Nintendo DS games. As a mere 13-year-old, I had loved playing Pokemon as a kid, and decided I would relive the past and get Pokemon Soul Silver. But with the summer ahead, I planned to play non-stop, as if I had issues the game. Until I had finished the game. And the game started with the standard procedure. You pick your name, get introduced to your mom and room, etc. I get to pick my Pokemon like every game, and of course, I pick Cyndaquil. That sounds like one of the medications in the NyQuil line. Is Cyndaquil a real frickin' Pokemon? Does it put you to sleep? Like what? Like every child, I start my journey off on Route 1. But something was odd with my Cyndaquil. He seemed to be in an almost mad mood. Regardless, I shook it off. Everybody always shakes everything off in creepypastas and it comes back to haunt them. Regardless, I shook it off and kept playing, but I soon learned that as his health got lower, the more aggravated me got. I think he means he got. But this didn't bother me at all, and I didn't notice anything until he had tamed 2 Jib badges. After healing in the Pokemon Center, he seemed eager to battle. He then followed by saying this: "For blood is my thirst, and my thirst will be quenched." This had started to perturb me, and I questioned my parents on where they had gotten the game. They simply replied, "An old man down the street." This bothered me so much because there was no old man down the street, but despite the nagging in my brain, I kept on playing, eager to find out Cyndaquil's obsession with blood. Can you tell me, as a 13-year-old, how do you know that there's somehow not a single old man on your street? Like, you just know the resident of every single house on your block. Eager to find out Cyndaquil's obsession with blood. I ventured out to the next route, and found a little Pidgey to battle. Cyndaquil, or Cindy as I nicknamed him, seemed happy about his victim, so they battled Cindy relentlessly, tear the wild Pidgey apart. Instead of the regular end scene of a battle, it ended with a splat of blood, and a help from the Pidgey. Disgusted, I turned off the game, and left it aside. The following are a series of events that occurred when I went to play the game after dinner. Cindy had apparently gotten hungry after I left the game, and decided to go out on his own. I later found the carcasses of Pokemon he had killed in my room in my house, but I kept on going despite being scared shitless. Wait, is he talking about like in his real life house or like in his in-game house? I don't know. When I went to battle the next gym leader, it seemed odd. All of his Pokemon were shiny, which had freaked me out because I'd never seen that happen before. But I defeated each Pokemon swiftly, until I had gotten my 3rd badge. When I was traveling to the next town, I had noticed something else that was odd. All of the Pokemon that gym leader had in the wild, they were shiny. This had greatly shocked me, and I caught all the Pokemon. The same thing happened with all of the other gym leaders and Pokemon, and very soon I had a stockpile of shiny Pokemon. When I went to face the Elite Four with my shiny Pokemon, I failed to defeat the leader, and after recovering my Pokemon, I noticed they were no longer shiny. This had bugged me, but I kept playing, and my 2nd time through I defeated the leader. With each Pokemon, when fainted, came a blood-curdling scream, and the same splat of blood from the Pidgey in the beginning of the game. I then heard Cindy laugh demonically, and I saw him lap up the blood and guts of his Pokemon, while the leader stared in horror. That had given me nightmares for ages, and I still hate that game. But I destroyed it, the smart way. Fire. I set it aflame and left it alone. But to this day I can still hear the demonic laughing of Cindy, and ever so often the scream of a dead child. Yeah, this is just like, I don't know, the story feels like they like forgot to make it scary, and so they were like, oh, let's put blood in at the end. Blood is scary, right? Cindy's murdering people. That's spooky, right? I don't know. It's spooky to me. Cindy's a very scary Pokemon. Finding the worst creepypastas 2 live. I just wanted to open this so I can monitor things. Hey, yo, if you haven't yet, like the stream. It's the cool thing to do, and it gives you double doses of swag. Red equals scary. If John Wolfe's told me one thing, it's that. Okay, so that was Shiny Until Death. Very, very bad creepypasta, and not even very interesting. Wait, did I do Simon yet? let's do Simon. Whenever I see the name Simon, I always think of that dude from, what's his name? From the Alvin and the Chipmunks? Yeah, that's dome. That's dome. That's dope, bold and brash. It's official. I'm subscribed. Congratulations on making the best decision of your life. You will not regret it, except probably tomorrow when I upload a video. Alright, here we go. My chair is so squeaky, but like, if I buy a new chair, I'm just gonna fuck up that chair too, because I'm just too fat. And so it will just become a squeaky chair again. This story is called Simon. I grew up in a rather small rural area with my friends of my age. Even when I did manage to find some friends, my dad would have me work on the farm, and thus you could say I was a rather lonely kid. That was until I met Simon. When I first saw Simon, I was scared. You would be scared too. You see, Simon wasn't like the other kids. He was short and had long arms that dragged behind him, ending in long fingers that flopped around as if broken. That does sound fucking terrifying. Simon's feet were massive and hidden under what appeared to be metal boots, which dragged across the ground as he moved, his swollen belly often jiggling as his melon-shaped head bobbed up and down with each move he took. This person's actually pretty decent with the imagery so far. Dressed in an old-fashioned sailor suit, Simon had one bulging eye and a tiny dot where his other should have been. His mouth was wide and filled with sharp metal teeth, while his nose seemed to be broken, his ears battered and bruised. I'm not one to, like, judge someone on their looks, but I feel like Simon is terrifying. For a good few weeks, I'd run away every time Simon appeared. Okay, at least they're smart, you know, like, this is some red flags. Sometimes going to my dad or mom, who would go looking for Simon but never found him. After a couple days of this, my dad threatened to give me a beating if I didn't stop going on about this nonsense. So, left with little other option, I finally decided to brave it one day and confronted Simon. To my surprise, Simon proved to be a very good friend and helped me with the farm work, being far stronger than myself and too eager to please. Simon never talked. Instead, he'd laugh and do strange little dances, which, although frightening, at first soon became somewhat comical as I joined in with his merriment. Simon's just Fortnite emoting all over the place. As I grew older, however, Simon began to change. He grew more and more angry, even violent. One time, Simon went as far as to trash my dad's farming tools, which I got the blame for. When I confronted Simon over this, he began to spit and growl. Long gone were the days of laughing and dancing. Not longer after that incident, I decided to break my ties with Simon. Whenever he arrived, I would pretend not to notice him and went about my business, earning angry growls and spitting from Simon as he flailed his arms around and tried to get my attention, eventually giving up and disappearing back into the forests. After a few days of this, Simon stopped coming back, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Although, I was somewhat sad to see my childhood friend gone. I was very much happy not to have Simon around anymore. My friend had gone, and what was left was something I knew I was better off not being around. Fate would have it that I eventually moved out of the rural area into the city, coming home every summer to visit my parents at the farm. Even though I was now grown up with a job and family of my own, I often help my dad out with the farm when I do visit, and lately, little Fred has been eager to help out as well. Is that like your son or something? I don't fucking know. After a bit of consideration, I decided there was no harm in it, and while Dad and I worked in the field, Fred helped out by feeding the livestock. This continued for a half an hour until suddenly Dad and I were interrupted as Fred came running towards us in a panic. I raced over and comforted Fred as he told me there was a monster in the barn. My dad was skeptical, but I felt my heart race as I told my dad to take Fred into the house. My dad was reluctant, but eventually he did, so I grabbed a nearby shovel and made my way to the barn. Entering the barn, I feared the worst, but was greeted with nothing, save for a few cows. Shaking my head, Shaking my head a little at my own imagination, I turned to head back in the house when I suddenly caught sight of a misshapen figure disappearing into the forest. From that day, I have not let Fred out of my sight, and although we still visit each summer, I no longer look forward to it. Despite a local search of the forest showing nothing, and my dad's continual insistence that nothing unusual had ever occurred, I still wonder when Simon is coming back. Yo, the biggest of nuts. Thank you for the $19.99. I can buy an As Seen on TV product. Thank you. That was mad generous, and I am currently experiencing the biggest of nuts. Where did Fred come from? Little Fred. So I guess, yeah, Little Fred is the fucking child that he had. I don't know how much fucking time passed or whatever. Also, like, my name is Freddy. I don't know if anybody knows that, but, my name is Freddy, and it's weird to me, as a person that is named Fred, Frederick, Freddy, to have a child named Fred. Like, that's probably why my parents referred to me as Freddy, because Fred is just a very adult name. Like, you picture a man who, like, you know, is a man, and not, like, a 6-year-old child that's scared. I don't know, it's just funny. Anywho, that was Simon. I gotta give this person props for the description of Simon. I do think it was kind of creepy. Like, yes, they were throwing a bunch of creepy things together just to make him as creepy as possible, but I think those descriptions were actually pretty good. So, props to the author of Simon, Epic Win Guy. Yeah, my name is Fred. 99.9% of people call me Freddy. Well, actually, 99% of the people that know me are from my YouTube channel, but they're internet people, so they call me Q. But anywho, I've probably said anywho many a time tonight, and it will only continue. You better frickin' stay hydrated, guys. Oh no, I know that people know my first name, but not most people. I think it mostly comes up on, like, live streams and stuff. Simpsons, why did you leave me? This creepypasta is dedicated to my friend oh god, why? Why do we have to be committing frickin' Minecraft lava bucket? Okay, I actually can't hide this on the screen. I hate it. Why do people have to mention the unalive? Q lore. Rare Q-star lore. Alright, Sims 3 creepypasta. Hello, I want to tell you all something that happened to me on the 29th of February 2009. That's the leap year day, you guys. I got a copy of Sims 3, and I was excited. I was a fan of EA Games. EA Games, challenge everything. And I loved the previous Sims games. I got it from some game pawn shop called The Daily Gamer. I like that. I would go there. It sold old games, new games, equipment, you name it. My main game store was closed, so I bought the game. It was used, so it was discounted. I bought the CD and got back to my house. I was excited, but the disc was scratched. So I was pretty angry, but I got my desk cleaner set and cleaned it. As I put a CD in my computer, I noticed something odd about the CD's logo. Nobody was smiling, and they all looked emotionless. I opened it and I was ready to play the game. I watched the intro, nothing was heard except for the cheerful music. After it finished, I made my profile. I only made one person and made my character as I wanted him. But the weird was that he wasn't moving at all. He wasn't making a sound and he had a straight face. I made him a young adult and gave him 5 traits. I noticed a weird one though. Something that didn't look appropriate for a Sims game. Cannibal. I just chose stuff that suited me, and then I made my guy. And then it gave me the option of making a house or buying a house. I bought a house and bought the furniture myself. My sim didn't get happy, he only got angry or sad. I thought that this was getting weird, so I decided to make something to eat for my sim. The only options were carnivore foods, like make pig tongue. I thought nothing of it. Nobody ever thinks anything of anything in creepypasta stories. I love it. And then I got a job after getting used to my new house. Then I saw butcher, theater, and crime. Butcher? What kind of game is this? It wouldn't let me accept the theater or crime jobs, and it wouldn't let me exit the page. So I just clicked butcher and got on with it. As soon as that happened, a car beep came abruptly from outside, and it was extremely loud. It made my ears ring, and I almost had a freaking heart attack. I fast-forwarded time and heard in on my guy's job. I heard a bunch of screams and moans. It was at a factory that wasn't regularly there, and my character's uniform was always stained in blood. I heard a bunch of screams and moans. Oh! It was at a factory that wasn't regularly there, and my character's uniform was always stained in blood. What was weird is, he never changed clothes. I just reread something that I already read. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I tried changing into a different outfit, but it didn't help at all. I then tried to buy a bed, but it would only let me buy meat hooks. I bought one out of curiosity, and the only option it had was hang body. I was disturbed. Another issue is that I tried changing materials of things, but the only material was blood splat. No color bar, nada. I tried to befriend people, but the only thing I could do was invite to house. I did so, and after the girl came to my house, a very graphic cutscene played that involved my character hitting the girl in the head with a sledgehammer and dragging her into my kitchen. My character then hugged her from the meat hook while laughing. Not smiling in the Sims fashion, but he had an evil smirk on his face. He was sort of creeping me out. I clicked on her dead body, and the only option was strip. I did so. Then it said I had to eat her. This wasn't as good as the other option. It wouldn't let me leave the page. So I clicked it, and I wondered what happened next. Then it started glitching up. Graphics were in the wrong places. A buzzing started coming from the speakers and scaring the living shit out of me. The game started to slowly get covered in pixels, like when your sim is naked. And a loud, distorted piano verse in reverse played. It froze up and closed. I took my disc out and threw it in my fireplace. I thought about suing the store. I drove back up to the store. All that was there was a meat factory. Alright, that sucked. That sucked major butt. That was just a butt-type story. Butt story type beat. Wait, I want to check out Robert Quill. Let's check out Robert the Doll. I don't know Roblox that well, but I'm open-minded, you know? He's a meat salesman, so I guess he was selling meat to the town or something. I don't know. Cannibals don't scare me at all. Like, obviously, if I met a cannibal in real life, that would be scary, but, like, the idea of cannibals is just like, bruh. Ooh, let's try this one. It's topical because of the time of year that it is. God, this screen just looks so bad because it's just a wall of text, but, like, I can't adjust it. Oh, also, real quick, did I mention that this stream is sponsored by my music channel, Q Music Worldwide. Feel free to check it out at any time. But only subscribe if you actually really like music and emo music and stuff, because I don't want a bunch of subscribers that don't watch the videos. So, if you're interested, check it out. If you're not interested, you're fine. Like the stream as well while you're doing things underneath the video. This story is called Santa Claus. Santa Claus, the plump, bearded man who comes down the chimney at night. Everyone knows him. What about Santa Claus? I have had my encounter with him, and I'm going to tell you. Are you ready? It all started on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. I was over at my aunt's house. I was eating some turkey, and I saw a shadowy figure at the doorstep. I heard a scream, and it sounded like someone was being murdered. I assumed it was all in my head, and I myself was a little tired. I was only 11 at the moment, and was really dumb. Isn't everybody? I was on my way home, and I was really tired. I put cookies and milk out for Santa, and carrots for the reindeer. Oh, that's actually pretty cute. I like that. My little sister Angelica was only 6 at the moment and wanted to stay up and wait for Santa to come. I obviously said no, because he would never come. Why am I fucking 14 years old still? She kept bugging me and eventually I gave up and said yes. I grabbed a blanket and my phone for entertainment. Angelica gave up around 8 o'clock. I stayed up and drifted off to sleep. Some sound came out of the kitchen and woke me up. I assumed it was just the ice maker. The noise grew louder and louder until I couldn't take it anymore. I realized Angelica wasn't next to me. My mom must have brought her to bed. Me, on the other hand, was to be picked up. The presents weren't under the tree, and the cookies were not bitten. I walked to the kitchen and turned off the ice maker. My dog Jack was barking at the window. Stupid dog. I realized it wasn't the ice maker making the noise. It was coming from the backyard. I most definitely was not going out there. I went back to the couch and played on my phone for 5 minutes. I heard footsteps and assumed it was my dad coming to put presents under the tree. It wasn't. It was a thin, bony man with a hook as big as your computer. That could be many different sizes. He was pale and had blue eyes as blue as the ocean at dusk. His hair was dark brown, and he had a few gray strands. He was dressed in a Santa suit 5 sizes too big. The ground shaked as he walked, and the dog barked. He bent down and shut his mouth with the hook. I yanked the blanket over my head. My hands were too shaky to call 911. I held my breath for 15 seconds. I let out a huge gasp for breath. I think he heard me because I felt him lay the hook on the blanket. He yanked the blanket off of me and laid his big blue eyes on me. He stared at me for a few seconds and then took a hold of my shirt and lifted me up. He stated, "Your presents aren't going to be here, and neither are you." I felt a tear roll down my face. He cut my arm, and blood dripped on the white blanket. I cried softly and opened my mouth to scream. His only hand without a weapon shut my mouth so hardly I could thought my teeth would fall out. A loud muffle came from my room. I guess my sister heard it because she came down the staircase and was in shock. She screamed, and it caught his attention. He dropped me in the puddle of my own blood. He walked over to Angelica swiftly. I cried to run and get Mom, but it was too late. He took a hold of her. I got up and called the police as fast as I could, and I explained the situation, and they were on their way. Angelica screamed, and my mom ran down the stairs. My dad after her with a shotgun from his safe. He shot the man and fell across the room. The blood splattered everywhere, on the walls, on the window, and it felt like a ride from Seaside Heights. The police finally arrived, and he was sent to the hospital. They examined the house and told us the man was Santa Claus, the serial killer. He usually comes on Christmas Eve in all the houses with his hook. They finally found him. I was sent to the other hospital to get my arm stitched. This story may make you think differently of Santa, so lock your doors and close your windows on Christmas Eve, because he was healed and was on his way to court and escaped. No one knows who he could get. He might get you. That was pretty spooky, man. I want to talk about the middle of the story, where we've got, so he's encountered the Santa Claus, and his plan is to yank the blanket over his head, where he will still be very obvious to any sort of intruder. His hands are somehow too shaky to type 3 numbers on his phone, and then he decides to hold his breath entirely, but can only make it for 15 seconds. That is just a comedy of errors. What a silly, silly, silly world we live in. Oh, someone please help. That's nice. Ooh, this one mentions Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I like that game. Is this an edgy take on Sandy Claus from Nightmare Before Christmas? I wouldn't be surprised. Santa has lung cancer and is now starting a drug trade in Albuquerque? Wait, did Snyder, what's that guy's name? Heisenberg? Walter White? Did he have lung cancer? I thought he had a different cancer. I thought he had, like, pancreatic. Never mind. Someone please help! One night, I was in my bedroom. Then, I thought, well, I'll play some Call F Duty. Black Ops 2. Thank you, Toast, for the $4.99. Santa was never the same after that. Rest in peace, Sandy Claus. He's still out there, dude. He's not dead. So I loaded it up, and instead of the usual menu, it showed Call of Satan, Hell Ops 2. I was scared to death, but instead of quitting like a wussy, I continued playing, which was a big mistake. I started the game, and what I saw was horrible. Instead of the usual menu for zombies, multiplayer, and campaign, instead of that, it said Devil Slayer, Angels vs. Devils, and Road to Hell. So, I selected Devil Slayer. When the screen showed up, the levels were Hell, Heaven, and Earth. So, I selected Earth to make this as sane as I could, considering the other things I saw. But this was worse. I saw people getting murdered, and it almost looked like I was playing a game with real-world looks and graphics, and the blood looked like someone had tortured a person and took pics of the blood and uploaded it for the graphics. So then, I was sitting there, playing, and all of a sudden, my character burst into flames and was burnt to ashes. It was horrific. I saw his flesh and organs burning into a crisp. So I played for a while more, and when I died, it automatically sent me to hell. It automatically sent me to the hell level, like I activated something by dying. So I played it for a while, and then all of a sudden it said, "You're going to hell!" Then a skeleton came out of the screen and grabbed me. I fought it off me and ran to my room and locked the door. Then it started to break down the door. Luckily, me and my brother had one door connecting the rooms. My brother was out with his friends at the time, so I was alone in the house. And my brother builds a lot, so he had boards, nails, and a hammer in his closet. So I boarded up the doors, just like you would in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies, and the monster's trying to break through them as we speak. I am writing this, like the direction, on a laptop in my brother's room as we speak. I only wish someone will help me. Goodbye, people. Call the police? No. Call your mom? No. Take 15 minutes to write out a creepypasta hoping that someone will see it when they sort by new? Absolutely. Best plan of action. That was pretty good. I liked it. I definitely liked it. I like when things mention games that I play. Was it Sans? You guys are so silly. Ooh, this one's called Snap. Snap. In Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, when you're heading up Route 217 to Snow Point City for your 7th badge, there's a small house near the Ice Rock where you level up your Eevee to get a Glaceon. If you enter it, the lights are turned off, and a woman is sitting alone and unmoving at the table. She talks in a creepy whisper about how she never gets visitors anymore, and please, take this, and you get a spell tag. An item that enhances ghost types. And if you re-enter the house after leaving, it's deserted. There's no one there. Not to mention, a trainer that's near the cabin mentions legends of a haunting in the area. What a terrible creepypasta. You met a ghost in a video game. Spooky. Glaceon. Eevee's one of the best Pokemons. Oh, we already read PlayStation Suffer. We also read Joe. Hey, Peter! Oh, this one's really long. No, that's like really long. Video games. Oh, I loved that one so much. Oh, should we read Goodbye, Gary? 1 in the chat if you want us to read Goodbye, Gary. 2 in the chat if you want us to do something else. Or read something else. I'm gonna sip a little bit of coffee. Wow. Really living it up to its name. Coffee. Okay, let's do it. You guys want this. Oh, somebody wrote 7. That's so funny. It's because it's different. JK, you're a funny guy. Buried Alive was a good creepypasta, though. Butt was a good creepypasta. Alright, here we go. Goodbye, Gary, a SpongeBob SquarePants lost episode. Have you ever wondered what happens if the creators of SpongeBob got rid of Gary the Snail? The creators made a test episode called Goodbye, Gary, an episode not supposed to be released to the public. My dad works at Nickelodeon Studios, mainly worked on SpongeBob and The Loud House. What the fuck is The Loud House? I don't remember that. But he sometimes worked on other shows. Goodbye, Gary was darker than the usual SpongeBob standards. Since my dad worked at Nick Studios, he would sometimes bring home DVDs of the newer episodes and some that were test episodes so he could edit them to see if there were any errors in the episode, or to change anything that seemed wrong. When he got home, he put on the DVD on the kitchen counter and told me that he was running out for a while. He never mentioned the DVD, mostly because it looked like he was in a hurry. After he left, I grabbed the DVD off the counter, put it on my DVD player, and sat on my chair in my room to watch the episode. I was not ready for what I was about to watch. The episode. The episode started out with a title card and a pet bowl with the name Gary, and above it read Goodbye, which read out Goodbye, Gary. Sad violin music was playing in the background. Beginning credits rolled normally, and then it went to a shot of a pet hospital. The camera zooms in on the hospital and goes to a shot of SpongeBob sitting in what looked like some kind of waiting room. He had bags under his eyes and looked nervous. The episode went into a flashback scene and showed SpongeBob watching TV in his living room. A loud noise was heard from the kitchen. He got up and walked into the kitchen. He gasped and ran into the source of the noise. It was Gary, foam coming out of his mouth. He was having a seizure. He looked over to where he found Gary and saw the bowl, upside down, with a brown snail food all over the kitchen floor. The last part of the flashback scene was SpongeBob running out of his pineapple house, Gary in his arms. The camera goes in to the waiting room, with SpongeBob still sitting with bags under his eyes with a nervous expression. A fish in a doctor's coat came out and walks up to SpongeBob.
Is Gary all right, Doctor?
SpongeBob says, trying not to stutter. The snail food that he congested had rat poison inside of it. He ate too much of it and died. I'm sorry, SpongeBob, the doctor says in a depressed voice, putting a fin on SpongeBob's shoulder. SpongeBob begins to yell,
No!
So loud that it almost made me go deaf. While this happened, the camera panned outside of the hospital. The screen faded to black. The screen came back to SpongeBob sitting in his house, with Sandy and Patrick and a couple Krabby Patties. Why am I hungry now? But something was different about SpongeBob. His skin was darker, like it was fading.
Hey, Sandy,
Patrick began.
Don't you think SpongeBob looks different?
He lost Gary, Sandy said. Give him some time. Here, SpongeBob. She gave SpongeBob a Krabby Patty. This'll cheer you up for sure. As Sandy put the Krabby Patty in SpongeBob's hand, it switched to SpongeBob's perspective and showed the patty in his hand. It slowly morphed into a small Gary. Meow, the Gary in SpongeBob's imagination said. It switched out of SpongeBob's perspective, and the tears started dripping out of his eye, and he said,
Oh, Gary, I'm so sorry. I wish you didn't get poisoned.
As he was saying this, Sandy and Patrick tried to tell him to be quiet, but they failed miserably. Squidward burst through the door and screamed, Will you cut it out? That was a terrible Squidward. SpongeBob then went silent. Patrick got up and yelled at Squidward,
Do you have any idea what happened? Gary died last week. SpongeBob is sad about it, and you come here to silence him?
That was very unlike Patrick's character. Squidward came back at Patrick, yelling at him.
Gary died? Why couldn't it be SpongeBob who died? The world would be a lot calmer, and I would be happier than I am now. Or why couldn't you be dead, Patrick? We don't have enough
R-tards in Bikini Bottom alone. Fucking Squidward pulling out the fucking heavy ones. That line was very dark, especially for Squidward. They've never said that word in the show before. I think there were a couple episodes where they were throwing out the R word. After he said that, SpongeBob got up from his chair. This is where it went downhill fast.
If you don't get the hell out of my house right now, Squidward, I'm going to kill you!
SpongeBob screamed at Squidward, asking completely serious. Squidward seemed scared of the screaming.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do? Hit me with your tears?
Squidward said, laughing after he said that. SpongeBob finally got triggered. SpongeBob started running angrily towards Squidward, leaped in the air, and jumping onto him. He started punching Squidward in the face, clawing at him. Sandy and Patrick tried to get SpongeBob off of him, but they kept attacking him, pushing the two away when they tried to pull him off. Sandy threw a rolling pin at SpongeBob, watching him knocking him off Squidward. When SpongeBob got punched, a realistic SpongeBob punch sound effect played. Thank you, Sarah Wilson. You're greatly appreciated. Squidward had a bruised nose, scratch marks all over his body, pieces of his shirt, and a black eye. Squidward then yelled,
Get away from me, you pathetic psychopathic sponge!
And ran out of the pineapple house. He ran into his own house and boarded the entire building up. After this was over, SpongeBob then ran upstairs to his room while panting with anger and slammed the door shut. Sandy and Patrick ran upstairs and Sandy told him to open his door. SpongeBob then said,
No, Sandy, I will stay in my room forever.
Sandy just told Patrick, Wait, that was terrible. We should probably leave. I don't know how to do southern accents right now. He agreed and they left. A time card appeared reading 2 weeks later. Then it transitioned to Sandy and Squidward in front of SpongeBob's house. Squidward's nose was finally healed from the brushing, and he still had some of the injuries on his body.
You think SpongeBob will be okay with me being here, Sandy?
Squidward said in a calm voice.
Yeah, Squidward. He's probably over it by now. Maybe he's not so worked up like last time.
He hasn't been to work in 3 weeks. I'm not sure about this, Sandy,
he said. Sandy knocked on the door, but it slowly cracked open. The living room was dark, with the only light being the static of the television.
SpongeBob!
Squidward yelled. No response.
Hey, SquarePants! You still here?
Sandy yelled. Still no response.
He's probably still asleep.
At 3:30 p.m. on a Tuesday? They decided to go upstairs and see if he was in his room.
Hey, SquarePants! Are you in here?
Sandy said. Once again, no response. Squidward knocked on the door. No response.
Open the door, Squidward.
Squidward did as she said. When he opened the door, he gasped and froze.
What is it, Squidward?
Sandy said, very confused. Squidward started stuttering, but finally got the word out.
SpongeBob!
Sandy looked in the room and screamed,
Oh my God, SpongeBob!
The camera panned to a shot of SpongeBob lying dead on his bed with a butcher knife in his forehead. He was bleeding hyper-realistic blood from where he got stabbed in. This was the final shot of the episode as the credits rolled. I was in shock. I didn't know what to think. Was that supposed to be an actual episode? I had no idea what to say. I took the DVD out of the player and put it back where it was before. My dad never found out that I watched the DVD. I believe that SpongeBob episode is an alternative version of the current running episode, Gary Come Home. Gary Come Home is actually one of the saddest episodes of all time, dude. He did it, boys. He said it. Hyper-realistic blood. This was actually really fucking sad at parts, dude. Like, when the tiny, like, patty, when they give him the Krabby Patty, and it's like, it looks like a small Gary to SpongeBob, like, I was actually feeling some emotions. Did SpongeBob Minecraft himself? Or did he get murdered by, like, the ghost of Gary or something? I don't know. Yo, fake name. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. That's like, what, 50 cents American? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. That's very generous of you. And I appreciate it. I just always have to poop on the Canadians a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that wasn't really that bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't, like, horrendously bad. I'm gonna drink some water. Do the same. Bye-bye, Butterfree. Yo, what's up, Scoot, dude? We got Roblox God Mode. I'm not a Roblox guy. I need to get into it because I feel like it's like a part of the culture that I'm like missing out on. His story is called Roblox God Mode. I really hate my username, I thought to myself. Luckily, I almost have 1,000 Robux to change it. Maybe I can make it an obby, so people will buy VIP and I'll earn money. I don't know what the fuck that means. See, my freaking Roblox boomer lack of knowledge is not serving me well here. I quickly made a new game space and started building. Only about 45 minutes later, I was done with the space, entered studio, and added admin. Finally, I'm done and I can open it, I thought to myself. This is gonna work out great! Oh, how wrong I was. I entered the game in play mode and started putting in commands, such as FF me and fly me. I'm prepared to watch over the obby. What is an obby? Can somebody explain to me what an obby is? Because I'm thinking of an obsidian frickin' mall in RuneScape. That's just my boomer brain. I entered God me and I hit a very long lag spike. After about 10 seconds, I could move again, but suddenly half of my screen turned red. Obby is like a parkour map. Okay, that's cool. Bright blood red. I shook as I reset my character, hoping that it would disappear as I did. My entire screen flashed red, and the shocking color disappeared. Typing in the commands again, I didn't hit a lag spike upon entering God me, and to my relief, nothing happened. I flew up into the air, and that's when it happened. The side of my screen was red again, but a more stalking color. And the most horrifying thing was that it had the texture of blood. I reset again, to no avail, as the dripping red was still there. I tried typing in ungod me, but this only created a strange string of repeating code in the red area, and I started shaking in fear again. Focusing on the scrolling text, I noticed a repeating line. God mode, no escape. God mode, no escape. Among these lines were the many other lines of jumbled numbers and a standard code I've seen in studio. All in garish, awful tones of red and black. Oh my god, guys, the two scariest colors! I took a screenshot of this and went on to a code preview website and copied in the code. Oh, this is the Dead Meat music in the background. I don't know if anybody can hear it. It's pretty faint, but Dead Meat music playing. This is Kevin MacLeod. This is a Kevin MacLeod playlist. He's like the best copyright-free artist. Anyway, shortly after I pressed enter, the thing that scared me most about this site was that my character was covered in blood and staring at the screen with human, yet strangely monster-like piercing black eyes. Suddenly, I heard a piercing, screeching voice coming out of my speaker, saying, "No escape from Godman!" I was too late to move in Roblox. I don't like when the stories only have scary things happen within the game, because it needs to, like, break out into reality for things to be spoopy. Also, charging children to change their names in a game, pretty uncool. Oh, wait, this is way too long. Okay, this one looks really good. You know it's gonna be a good story when every single word is capitalized. This story is called Robert Quill. Hi, I'm Jack and I'm an undercover cop in Los Santos. I love this city, don't get me wrong. Chapter 1, Robert Quill. I talked to Robert Quill and I asked him, do you know about the missing people in Los Santos? Robert said nothing. He just said shut up and said get off of the subject. I said why, and Robert said I don't like talking about it. I said okay, see you later. Then Robert said thanks for letting me go. When he said that he vanished, I tried to find him. My vision went black. Chapter 2, Robert's Revenge. This is gonna get scary, guys. I woke up in a room strapped on the table. Then Robert appeared and said, welcome, Jack. I said, you won't get away, Robert Quill. Oh, I will, Robert Quill said. I want to see you bleed, Robert said in a demon voice. Then he gets a hammer, then said, shh, hush now. It's all over. You will be the Atomic Man. He gets a mask. Then Sades puts on the mask. Now, I got off the table and punched him. Robert Sade, get back in there. Chapter 3. The final chapter. Hi, Jack. Again. Hi, Jack again. I got out of there, so now see you bye. Hello, it's Robert Quill. The story's not over for me, but it's over for him. Robert cries and then laughs evilly. I feel like this is intentionally bad, but it still works really well for me. Chapter 3, the final chapter. Hi, Jack again. I got out of there, so now see you. Bye. Hello, it's Robert Quill. I like when a story has a perspective change like that. This says a lot about society. You know what else says a lot about society? My music channel, which is free to check out with the links in the chat. Alright, poggers. Alright, my little pog champs. Ooh, what's Luigi's Revenge? We haven't really done any... Oh my god, there's a lot of Luigi creepypastas. I'm just gonna open up a bunch of new ones. Jiggy Pepper. Okay, let's see what Luigi's Revenge is all about. Mama Luigi! Okay, the story is called Luigi's Revenge. This is a story I must share because I am Minecraft right now. Anyway, let's get on with the creepypasta. The year was 2008, May 28th, 2:36 p.m. I was waking back from school and was bored as fuck. Then I saw a Super Mario ad on the TV, but it cost too much money. It cost about $60. I was broke as fuck. So I went home sadly. When I opened the door, I sadly closed it, and then I looked it, and then I ran into my room, and a bright idea popped in my head. Why not just look on eBay? So I searched up on eBay, and I found the same exact disc. I wented, I think that means wanted, aka the Super Mario disc. I noticed it was selling for $0.00, so I clicked on buy and ordered faster than a cheetah. I waited about 1 week, and then the package finally arrived. When I opened it, the disc was scratched up and had red ink. Do not watch or he will come for you. I was made because the disc was waited for 1 week and it was probably broken. So against all of my anger, I put the disc in my computer wanting to watch it, and the intro started off normally, but it was in G major and had lots of static. This person knows what key things are in. Then the episode selector came on, and there was one called Luigi's Revenge. This poked me, but I shrugged it off thinking it was a joke for the episode Big Mistake. Then the intro started off with a loud ear-raping static. I had to lower it. It started off with Mario and Luigi walking on a path. Mario said to Same Peach, Wahoo! Luigi timed to copy Mario, but just tripped. Mario said, "Luigi, are you okay?" Luigi said yes in a sad and depressing way, like so sad even Satan would cry. They kept on running, and it statically for 5 minutes, and then it cut them in the castle, dropping Bowser in the lava and saving Peach. So Bowser dead, Peach saved. Everyone shouted, "Horway!" That's like Norway, except everyone there is promiscuous. Mario saved the day again. Luigi walked away sadly and went to his brother and his house and cried in the bed, sounded like a real child, which made me sad. Mario opened the door and asked Luigi what was wrong. He said, "Nothing. It fine, Mario." Went down making a pizza pie. Luigi wrote in his diary once again that asshole Mario took all the credit, and that will change today. This confused me. Mario say, "Luigi, the pizza is ready. Come down, Luigi." Luigi went down with a dark shadow covering his eye. I cannot see his eye. He walked down slowly, and he just start down and look at the peas. Mario said, "Luigi, you're not touching the pizza. You always eat the peas." Ate away. Are you sure you're fine? Mario asked conkneckly. Luigi then pulled out a knife and stabbed Mario 15 times and killed Mario. I was like, holy shit, fuck this shit, I am out. But then Luigi grabbed a gun and shot Daisy, his girlfriend, and killed Peach, Toad, and anyone else who never gave him credit. Then he said, "You're next." I looked up the person who sold it to me, but it said user does not exist. Now that shared this, I am calling myself after posting this goodbye. That is so tragic. For both Luigi and whoever wrote that story. I cry every time. If Luigi isn't eating his peas, you know it's bad. You know it's gonna be bad. Oh, that's too long. Jiggly Pepper. Oh, we got another poem one. Is everybody ready for some poetry? Luigi, no. Oh yeah, let's check out one of these Jimmy Neutron ones. Oh, nice. Oh, how can he be sad in Horway? True. Okay. This Satori is called Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. One day I was bored, like every day, so I looked up Jimmy Neutron. I discovered a game, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Then I remember the game when I was a child, the shitty controls and sound bites. So I downloaded it from a third-party website where you can download ISOs of games. When it was finished, I burned it to a CD. I hastily wrote Jimmy on the Memorex and put it in the computer. I installed the game to my computer. I clicked on the icon. It was glitchy. The THQ, oh my god, I miss THQ so much. The THQ logo was flashing across the screen, switching back and forth to my desktop to the THQ logo. I did Control-Alt-Delete, this person's a fucking hacker, bro, on my computer. I ended the task and restarted the game. It was normal. I skipped the shitty cutscenes and it led to the main menu. I clicked New Game. There was a cutscene with Jimmy conversing with Carl about some stupid neutrons and other bullshit I paid no attention to. I started the adventure through the laboratory and skipped all the other shit. I ended up in Jimmy's neighborhood. I walked around and did the objective where you collect 2 red neutrons. I then entered Jimmy's house. Then things started to get really weird. That weird music started to play in the house. I went up to the piano. It made a very bad soundbite of someone banging on the piano. This wasn't normal. I remember as a child going across the piano a bunch of times to hear all the keys being pressed in ascending order. I walked upstairs. Each step I took, the music became louder. I heard the loud screaming. I heard a very loud gunshot soundbite. Blood squirted across the hallway. I went into Jimmy's bedroom to find Jimmy's mom corpse on the bed. Her guts were all over the bed. It was very realistic looking gore, but not as far as hyper realistic. Jimmy's dad was nowhere to be found. Then the music became extremely loud and blew my speakers. I walked out of the house. It was pitch black. My speakers came back on. It was playing shitty house music. I turned up the brightness on my monitor. I saw a mangled Sheen body with tire tracks through him. Then I remembered that there were no cars in this game. Then, the game turned normal. The objective was race Nick at the school. So I went to the schoolyard. There was nothing but a very long stretch of road that looked like it led to nowhere. I was on my scooter. I drove across the road, which felt like hours until I found something. Nick was standing in the middle of the road with a blank expression. I walked up to him. He turned around facing the other way. He didn't move any muscles, he just shifted backwards. A telephone appeared and I went into it. A world appeared saying, "Don't do it." I went into it. I returned to the neighborhood. The objective was kill Carl. Wow. I went outside I went outside Carl's house, which wasn't a normal function of the game. Jimmy pulled out a knife, and in a horrible cutscene, he stabbed Carl in the throat and pulled out his esophagus. Then, the credits showed up. I deleted the game from the hard drive. I never played the game, ever again. I'm so confused. Like, did Jimmy kill his mom? Or did Jimmy's mom just die from some other thing? I don't know. This is not a good one. It was readable. Like, I mean, it had, like, words that made sense, but... Okay, that one's a little bit long. Let's look for some other stuff. None of that made sense. Yeah, no, oftentimes, guys, I'm not gonna lie. When I'm reading these stories, I am not actually processing what is happening in the story. Like, I'm just trying to get through the words as best as I can. Does Bruno Mars is gay? We may never know. Krabby Patty, the secret formula. Krusty Krab after dark. That sounds pretty hot, baby. I'm opening a bunch, baby. Okay, let's read this little poem one. Let's break it up with some poetry. I haven't seen a Q stream since he played Minecraft. I haven't done that in a while. Those were fun, though. Jiggy Pepper. I just got a fear in my heart, like I said, a slur, but just Jiggy, no worries. Hello, girl, it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry, but I'll have to beat you. To death, that is. That's what I said. Don't think too much, you'll soon be dead. Broken heart, broken mind. Holes for eyes. She dies, she dies, she dies. Shh, it's a secret. I see red. Smashed head. Why won't she die? Please become dead. Dripping blood. Drip, drip, drip. A puddle on the floor. Lick, lick, lick. Please don't cry. Why? It's fun to die. Bye, bye, bye. Life is fast, you can see. It's fast for you, but not for me. It's not the monster in your dreams. I'm sorry if I laugh at your pitiable screams. He. Deformed body on the floor. Poor girl, oh poor girl. You were so young, but I didn't care. Life is hard, it isn't fair. Seeing you lay in a puddle of red makes me wish you were alive and not there dead. Just wait right here, then you'll go to your head. Then I think I left it in your bed. There, see? You look much better. All you need now is a nice warm sweater. Cover up the scars and holes. Why, you look good as new. Let's go for a stroll. What? No, you're not ready? Do you want a toy? Maybe your teddy? Oh, what's your name again? Oh yeah, Betty. It's getting late, so we must be off. No, don't move. I'll help you up. For all of you reading this, I bid you adieu. Don't feel bad for her. This could happen to you. So long, farewell, and goodbye. The next time you hear from me, it will be your turn to die. Your friend, Jiggy Pepper. Sorry, I had a flow going there for a while, but I messed it up, and then there's like, my mind just crumbles so quickly. Like, I'll be flowing, I'll be fucking, I'll be fighting, And then I'll just mess up one word, and then I can't read the words. I can't say the words. I'm drinking water. It is a beautiful night. I want to eat some meat Getty and spag balls. Wait, is this a classic? I've never heard of Killy Lily. I do have to kind of urinate, but I don't want to leave you guys. We'll do a Killy Lily, and then I may produce urine. It's not a classic. Okay, here we go. Killy Lily. Killy Lily is the 115-year-old creepypasta with an insanity level worse than Jeff and Pinky's combined. Who to us are or were the most dangerous of them all. So this person is establishing that Jeff the Killer and Pinkie Pie, I guess, are the most dangerous, insane killers, but Killy Lily is more insane than them. Killy Lily is an alleged serial killer, have reported to have killed thousands of others and out to kill many more. She hunts down her prey with a phenomenal stalking skill, and her appearance is rather grotesque. She has black eyes with pinprick white pupils and never-ending straight hair that always lays over her left eye. Nobody knows if it's actually there or not. Blood constantly runs from the left covered side of her face, and blood runs from the right corner of her mouth, her sharp canine teeth possibly being why. Her clothes are ragged, as if there have been a few victims to fight her back, and there is blood soaked all over them, showing us that she left the scene with another triumphant kill, and maybe a few marks on her. She always has a hunting knife, and in a case hooked onto her side, and will use any weapon she can to get the thrill of killing once more. Killy Lily also goes by KL, Killy, Lily, or Lils, and is very unknown, which gives her the benefit of the doubt. If nobody knows I exist, nobody can defend themselves when I'm around. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna cut in for a second. This feels like less of a creepypasta and more like a bio on this character. Like, why not tell us a story of what this character is doing instead of just being like, oh, I assure you, this 115-year-old creepypasta has the highest insanity level of any creepypasta character ever. She's reportedly bitten a few of her victims, leaving bite marks and chunks of flesh to show the evidence, and she does not stop at that. Slaughtering her victims, we have come to believe that her behavior could be the worst of them all. To our fascination, Killy Lily has so much control over herself that she can mentally handle being in front of humans, and those who are just like her, freakish killers, only losing herself when she's pushed or forced into losing her own mind. Despite the facts that she kills, it is rumored that she's not just out to slaughter everyone in her path, but her other reasons we do not know. No one has ever gotten a photo of Killy Lily. They are killed before they even get the chance. It is reportedly thought that she commonly spends her time in her own hometown's local high school during the day and goes by the name of Lily Time to people who are associated with her, although her name is actually Liliana Time, so she has a nickname at school, which turned into the pasta name Killy Lily. She's also a depressed insomniac who we feel kills for her own well-being. We think it makes her happy. After school, she's in the woods, the trees, and anywhere else looking for her next victim. Early mentioned, she has a stalking skill like the abstract paranormal being, the Slenderman. Better or worse, we don't know. But like him, she makes her prey uncomfortable by stalking them, purposely giving her victims glimpses for herself to further frighten them. Seeing the fright on her victims' faces seemingly makes KL like killing and stalking much more, psychologically torturing her victims before physically torturing them, leaving no trail of evidence and her victims to slowly die. We don't know Killy Lily much more than that, except for the fact that she has a sister named Silent Night, who she loves dearly and will protect with her life. Now you decide. Do you think she's dangerous or no threat at all? This is not, like, okay, Let's just say Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, probably this Pinkie Pie creepypasta. Like, they're all truly terrible creepypastas, but at least they're a story, and you get to judge how dangerous they are based on, like, the story that's being told. This is literally just telling you how dangerous she is, like, straight up, and then saying, do you think she's dangerous? It's like, well, you've told us the entire time that she's extremely dangerous, and she's killed thousands, and she has the highest insanity level. It's just, it's rough. I'm gonna pee. I will be right back. Listen to The Hive by Kevin MacLeod. Oh. House reeks of onions. Ugh. Killy Lily. That was great. Entertainment value-wise, that was exceptional. I forgot to ever tweet out about the stream, but it's all good. You know, I don't care. You shouldn't care. We're all here right now, and it's a beautiful thing. While I'm here, feel free to check out my music channel at any time, especially if you like emo music. Drop a 1 in the chat if you like water. Great freaking... Oh! I made freaking caramelized onions last night, and they were really good, but my house reeks of onions. And I've been trying to clean it up, just in case, like, I meet somebody out in the world, and I want to bring them back home. If you, okay, people out there in general, if you go over to a potential love interest's house and it reeks of onions, are you staying over? Are you still aroused at all if it reeks of onion? I mean, at least it shows that I'm a cook, you know? I try to cook. Okay, that's really long. Okay, Krabby Patty, the secret formula. If I like the person yet, I would stay despite onion. If your mouth smells like onion... No, I've brushed my teeth like 5 times between today and yesterday. Just to try and get... Because I think the onion smell is also like stuck in my fucking nose. Yeah, I had the window open like overnight. Anyway, this is Krabby Patty, the secret formula. Even scarier than the reek of onions at a potential boner house. Never mind. The popular long-term children's running cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants is obviously famous for its bubbly main character SpongeBob, who is an employee at the Krusty Krab, home of the famous Krabby Patty. In various episodes, the Krabby Patty's secret formula is talked about. Even some minor ingredients have been mentioned discreetly, but I'm sure everyone has the desire to find out the full recipe. As a younger child, I was brought up with the cartoon and always aspired to find out the formula. It was fun guessing at all of the possible ingredients, but I never really found anything, until recently. I don't usually pay attention to any of the episodes, it's really my sister who's a big fan of the show. But recently, I've been careful to try and focus on details to solve this secret formula mystery. SpongeBob's manager, Mr. Krabs. Okay, don't just call him the fucking manager. He's the owner of the place. Show some fucking respect. Mr. Krabs is obviously a crab and is very secretive about the formula. After rewatching a few episodes, I found it peculiar that Mr. Krabs, his mother, and his grandfather are the only crabs I've ever seen, except for his 3 nephews who make a minor appearance. And Larry is the only lobster. Now, I'm pretty sure that crabs and lobsters spend a lot of time on the seabed, in this case, Bikini Bottom. Krabs is overprotective of the secret formula and insists that it's either an old Krabs family recipe or a mistake after an argument with childhood used-to-be good friend Plankton. Of course, I understand why you'd want it to be unknown, as the Krabby Patty is a desired delicious creation. But has anyone really thought about why it's called a Krabby Patty? A Krabby Patty? I have thought about this, and in my opinion, I think the Krabby Patty secret ingredient is crab meat. I know it sounds crazy, but why would you cook and sell your own kind? But, as seen, Mr. Krabs is a cheapskate, and usually only cares about money. Maybe he just wants to make money. As he is very protective about the formula, I reckon that he wouldn't like it if his customers knew they were eating his kind. It makes sense if you think about it, and Plankton is no better. In the episode where he creates an arena to attract new customers, he reveals the revolting ingredients that go into his chum on a stick. Not to mention that he's the owner of a chum bucket. Chum is in bits of pieces of wasted fish mixed together to attract fish to catch. Anyway, that's the fucking whole story. I kind of butchered it at the end, but it also kind of butchered itself at the end. I've already heard this theory about the Krabby Patty's secret ingredient being called crab meat. I have one really good reason why Krabs is the only crab and Larry is the only lobster. It makes their characters unique. You know, if there were like multiple lobsters, multiple crabs, multiple whales, you notice Pearl's the only whale on the show, it would be confusing. You know, you'd get confused about the differences between the characters, but that's just a dumb out-of-universe explanation. Obviously, there needs to be a better in-universe explanation, and that is, of course, that Krabby Patty, Mr. Krabs, is killing all the crabs. Anywho. Oh, Killy Lily. We will never get one as good as Killy Lily. You know, I say that, and then we will get one. The secret ingredient is jiggy peppers. Man, this really jigs my peppers. You guys are actually straight fire in the chat right now. Oh my god, why do there have to be so many things that involve sliding down a sewer? Like, there's a lot of, there's a lot of love. Ooh, McDonald's. I love McDonald's. Oh no, it's so long! Why are you gonna make... Oh, Minecraft Boast. Wait, did I already read this one in a video? I don't remember. Minecraft Ghost. I was playing Minecraft a few minutes ago. I was looking for abandoned houses to stay in on a server, and I found one. I went to its basement to check things out when I finally heard a door open. There was no one there. I thought to myself, nah, silly admins, always playing with me. The fire was being started all around me, and finally a sign appeared saying, "Go away." Then a black wool started appearing around it. I decided to type /spawn to get out of there, whatever was messing with me. I was then teleported to an obsidian platform in the sky. A few seconds later I got a Java error that disconnected me. Once I build up the courage to go there again, I'll update this page. Update. I think it was something to get me back, because it was placing creepy signs everywhere. I'm not that worried about anything, and I don't think I'll ever be. What a fucking anticlimactic story. Oh, this one's kinda long? I don't know. Same old story, same old song and dance. My friend. School event. School face. School killings? I don't know if that's gonna trigger some sort of demonetization bot. Wait, did anybody watch Saved by the Bell? I feel like it's a really, really old show now, because it was old when I was a kid. What the fuck? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay, let's get this. Scooby-Doo. You guys know Scooby-Doo, right?
Ruby, Ruby, Roo.
That's how he sounds. Anyway, okay, I haven't talked about this in a very long time. This happened to me when I was 10 or 11. My dad had bought us a Scooby-Doo VHS tape of an episode which I can't fully recall. All I can remember is that it was about a little girl's ghost haunting a whole town. Our parents didn't go out very much, since my brother suffers from asthma and they were very protective of him. But one night, they had this important party thing and decided to call a babysitter. I remember getting upset and telling them that I was old enough to take care of my brother, but they didn't listen. They left us with this freckly 15-year-old neighborhood girl called Amanda or something. Before leaving us, Dad gave us the tape, which got us pretty excited, as it would be the first time that Dad let us use the VHS player. Okay, I'm pretty sure, yeah, if your parents aren't allowing you to use the VHS player, you're probably also not qualified to look after your little brother. Anyway, after they left, all we noticed was that the tape was kind of weird. The art on the cover looked handmade somehow. Scooby looked really terrified, and the ghost girl was really creepy. I remember Amanda calling my dad a weirdo for buying such a thing for us, but I assumed he just picked up the first tape he saw. I also remember that Amanda didn't want to play the tape, but after my brother and I insisted for almost an hour, we finally sat in front of the TV to watch the thing. The episode itself was kind of boring. There were almost no jokes and it wasn't that scary, but I do remember being surprised that the ghost from the cover didn't look at all like the one in the video. I don't really remember the plot to the episode. I guess it was pretty much the usual, and Amanda would repeat "stupid show" every 5 minutes. What a buzzkill. Close to the end, when they got the ghost and they were about to unmask her, something weird happened. All of the Scooby-Doo games stopped talking and looked at the camera with a really sad and serious look on their faces. They stared at us for a very long time in silence. Even the background music had stopped. The only person not looking at us was the ghost girl, but she suddenly lifted her head and stared at the camera with her terrible eyes wide open. The final credits came abruptly after that. We all stared at the TV without saying a word until the tape finally stopped. We were shocked. My brother looked at us and said something like, "Shit, I can't believe Shaggy died. This is so fucked up." We both looked at him, confused, and Amanda asked what he was talking about. He insisted that it was so stupid to kill a character and then bring him back to life in the next episode. She got really nervous and told him that Shaggy didn't get killed and that the ghost girl disappeared right after they caught her and the episode finished with the whole gang scared to death. Nothing made sense. I couldn't understand a thing. When I told them what I saw, Amanda freaked out. She said at least 10 times that it wasn't funny and left her house, pissed off and I assumed scared to her bones like we were. After discussing for at least a half hour, we decided to put the tape in and watch it again. We turned all the lights on and pushed rewind. The thing is, when we got to the part where they get the girl, the episode suddenly ends. Nothing happens. They get the girl and there's no unmasking, no killing, and no staring. It just ends there. We stopped the tape and ran to our room. My brother had an asthma attack and I stayed in his bed crying and praying he wouldn't die. Eventually, we fell asleep. The next morning, my brother started acting like nothing happened. After insisting for about 2 days, he told me he never wanted to talk about it again. And that was it. Damn, I think I actually never told anyone about this. It feels good to share. Oh no, I can't have the hiccups right now, guys. Guys, give me your positive energy to stop me from having the hiccups right now. I will cry. Anyway, so the story. I have a question. Any lawyers out there? If a kid dies from an asthma attack and there was previously a babysitter there, but they left for like no reason at all. I do not know why the babysitter just abandoned these children. But, oh, Amanda. Wow, we actually have the real life Amanda from this story. Would you be accountable for abandoning the 2 kids, or would the parents get in trouble for trusting their kids with a babysitter? I don't know. It might actually, I don't know. That's criminal negligence. Fuck yeah, bro. Much hallucinogens tonight. Send those to my house, please. I live at 45 Wallaby Way, Sydney, Australia. Is that even the correct reference? I don't think it is. Oh god, school event. School face. Okay, wait, I need to know what school face is. I'm like deeply intrigued. Is there a guy that hates up? I know there's a guy that hates burps. Yeah, that guy that hates burps will live in infamy. This stream will stay up for rewatches because there's like a 0% chance it gets like copyright stricken or anything like that. This story is called School Face. I hate school for years. Even all my friends like school, but I don't. One day in school, they are going camping for a week. My parnets want me to go to the camp, so I had to go to the camp with my friends. Once we were in the school bus, my friend was telling me a ghost story. I said, "Dude, don't talk about it in the school bus," O said to my friend. About an hour later, we are finally camping. The camp was named Don't Die, Kids. Okay. The woods were dark and full of grief. The light from the sun was now small rays of light which were glittered on the floor like a bunch of spiders. Besides for the rays of light, there was no warmth, no bliss, nothing that could have possibly brought comfort. For the trees were red and brown, which made it look like blood spilled. What foul forces of darkness have corrupted this once beautiful place? The grass whispered songs of murder. The trees whispered songs of life. Two opinions combined together to make it so. There was the scene of peace and death. A monster I knew surely must be here. We ran back to the campfire. I look up Don't Die Kids Camp to see if there are monsters in the camp. It said there are one monster in the forest. It said School Face. There were a download of a map of the camp. It also said it's everywhere in USA. I noticed that my friend knew about Monster and its story. We went to sleep. The next day, my friend was talking about School Face. My friends were planning about going into the woods at night. I said, "Be careful, guys." At nighttime, my friends went to the forest. About 2 hours later, none of my friends come back. So I had to do is go and find that monster. I found the caves painted with skulls and doves. No one can replace a screaming face. What the fuck does that mean? What does any of this mean? For right then, I knew my death was coming. It grew in a fast rate, racing to see if it could break my confidence. However, there are monsters in this world and people. I glared down at the dark waters, seeing a monster staring back. I ran back to the campfire. I saw my friends alive. I told my friends about the weird School Face thing. My friend said, "That monster needs to die." About 2 weeks later, I was home playing Halo 4. I saw something in the window. It was the School Face monster! It had a note on its hand. It said, "I want to talk to you." What the fuck? What is School Face? What does it look like? There was so much jumping around here. However, there are monsters in this world, and people. That was a good line. School Face. It's such a great name because I can only imagine, like, a creature with a school for a face. I don't know. There was so much skipping around and just things that did not connect whatsoever. School Face, it was a good attempt. Great name for a story. Like, 10 out of 10 name. That's too long. Like my butt. I got a long butt. Are you guys into long butts? Okay, school event. Wait, no, that one's long. Let's look up more stuff. Let's look up some more stuff. Lil Wayne's... Wait, I want to see what Lil Wayne's secret... Oh my god, it's like a freaking novel! This story is not real, it's a creepypasta. I think they might have wrote that so they don't get sued. Yo, Chris K, thank you for the $10 Canadian. Some coin for my favorite dude on the platform. Keep up the great work, Q, you're the king. Oh my god, that's so sweet of you, dude. It's crazy. to think that I'm somebody's favorite person on this platform with so many fucking incredible people. So that is an honor. I'm absolutely honored that you feel that way about me and that you're generous as fuck. Oh, no, penis! Okay, I'm looking up things. Ooh, what's this? This looks like it's gonna be... Oh no, why are they so long? Oh, that was scary. That is a scary face. Wait, can you guys see this? I think everything's darker on my screen, so that probably looks actually scary. Wait, there's no peens on the screen, guys. There better not be. Okay, lifeless tree. Let's get into another story here. Scariest creepypasta is my own life. Okay, good. No peens. Unallowed. Alright, here we go. Lifeless tree. Crab cake cold. If anybody remembers that, I love you. Wait, actually, no. I hate you. I mean, you're okay. Anyway, lifeless tree. Whew! That was a good run. Oh, wait, no. It's a father, so it has to be Joe Swanson. Whew! That was a good run. Thank you for the $10. Polly M91. Haha, donations go brrrr. Whew! That was a good run, says my father, who is worn out from racing against me. Despite being in my 40s, my dad can still run circles about everyone here in the South. What the fuck? Beatrice Isola, thank you for the $10 European mode. You guys are all mad generous. You're fucking crazy. Anywho, my dad can still run circles around everyone here in the South despite being in his 40s. Yeah, I almost beat you. Oh, wait, no, this is the kid. Yeah, I almost beat you this time too, Dad, I reply. Life here in the swamps gets pretty boring after a while, so running is what I live for. Now then, begins Father, today's the day you will head into town and go to conduct business with a friend of mine. We need to convince him to move to the swamps so our palace can... Dad? Now, son, it's highly important that... Just shut up, I scream. Alright, smartass, go. My father barks back. I begin walking towards town and finally reach around 5 in the evening. After unsuccessfully trying to persuade my father's friend, I'm about ready to return home when my eye catches a gargantuan ominous tower. I know I should return home, but something compels me back to check it out. Yo, Rebecca, thank you so much for the $10 and have an amazing night. I'm already having a delightful one. I got water by my side. I feel very threatened by both the story and you, Rebecca. It's a big door, and I'm small for my age, so it takes some effort to get it open. Inside is what appears to be an abandoned factory. It's not real bright inside, so a few minutes patch before I get my bearings. I wander around and eventually come across a rusted silver door. I open it and instantly feel as if someone's trying to tear me apart. I ignore it. Everybody ignoring things always. And continue my way until I freeze in my tracks. That weird feeling comes back and I feel lightheaded. I black out for a while and wake up to hear footsteps. A shiny yellow ball approaches my paralyzed body and starts talking to a friend who looks like me. I just spit all over myself. I black out for a while and wake up to hear footsteps. A shiny yellow ball. Fuck my balls, dude! I read the yellow ball thing twice. Anyway, he has yellow hair, a sad expression on his face, and wears green pieces of cloth. I wish I could ask him to help me. Too bad I'm a lifeless tree. Okay, I was wondering how that was going to come back into it. So, whatever this creature was, or the yellow ball, turned him into a lifeless tree, and then it created like a doppelganger of him, I guess? I don't know. Very confusing stuff. Okay, wait, these are minorly long. Ooh, what's Meg's Revenge? Oh, May's Revenge? Fuck that, I don't care. Oh god, this one is so long. I'm gonna go to the F section and see if there are any new Family Guy I mean, not new, but like Family Guy stories we have not looked at yet. There's always good stuff. Ooh, Greg's Revenge. That sounds very scary. Okay, let's see what Greg's Revenge is. The whole story began in 2010. An expert Diary of a Wimpy Kid fan discovered in his file cabinet that he had papers from 1999 from when Diary of a Wimpy Kid was in its first stages. Back then, Jeff Kinney wanted the series geared towards a mature audience, but unfortunately, no publisher would accept its mature content, so he made it G-rated. But here's how the story begins. It begins when Greg decided, after 30 years... Fuck my balls, I read a thing. I mixed up the two. It begins when Greg decided, after years of dismay from his brothers Roderick and Manny, to murder them. At 9 p.m., he goes out and grabs a knife from his pocket and stabs Manny with it 37 times. He then goes into his brother room and stabs Roderick 32 times. He then leaves with $20 and 6 pounds of heroin and escapes into the night. What do they say? Soul crushing? No, not soul crushing. Skin tingling. I'm scared right now. This is scary. Alright, let's try this FamilyGuy.exe. It's kinda long, but if you guys have faith in me, I will try to read it. If it doesn't end with the cheese touch, it's bad. True! Absolutely true. Hey, Peter! Anyway, also, a thing that exists is my music channel. You can check it out if you like music and people being sad and playing the guitar. Anywho. Hey, Peter! Anyway, FamilyGuy.exe. I get to do voices in this one. This is fun. This is so fun. We have fun here. Okay. 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 Hey, Peter! Alright, FamilyGuy.exe. We back out here. FamilyGuy.exe. I was in school one day, like any other day, and my friend had a note. Let's call him Bob. It said, please destroy the disc, or he will come for you. I am dead because of this. Do not even play this game, just destroy it, or else he will kill you to your best friend. What the fuck? Okay, let's read that whole sentence again. I was at school one day, like any other day, and my friend had a note. Let's call him Bob. It said, please destroy the disc, or he will come for you. I am dead because of this. Do not even play the game, just destroy, or else he will kill you. To your best friend. Okay. It was weird, and I've not seen him in a few weeks, but I thought, meh, he's just messing with me. No big deal. And trying to scare me again. So, when the school day finished, yeah, when I'm trying to scare a buddy at school, I always make sure to not show up for 3 weeks. That's how you really get them. So when the school day finished, I took it home with me and put it into my computer, and Family Guy came up. I said, I might as well play it. What, could it be haunted about this disc? I said jokingly. I was wrong. I had had a Family Guy theme, but it seemed slowed down, and it showed the family. But a sec frame showed blood everywhere, and them frowning. I thought, wow, he must be really getting in my head. After clicking play, it showed the scene where Brian got killed by a car. This made me sad, remembering when they killed off Brian. It cut to Brian's funeral and showed the family quickly getting over Brian's death, and when they on purpose destroyed Stewie's time machine, so he could not bring Brian back, saying he should aspect. Then Stewie's eyes cried, and they turned black and red. The video end. Huh, I thought that was weird, but surged off, because it seemed like something Family Guy would do. However, I was wrong, because the quality was poor. Then the Gigya Gas theme played. What is the Gigya Gas theme? And it showed Meg, Peter, Lois, and Chris each on squares, and Meg was selected Bolt for the moment, and I liked to play the game started. It started off with Meg sitting on the couch, then Stewie strains crying. She went to check on him in his room, and she, oh, let me get that sharp object out of... Stewie, knocks it over, and the knife cut off Meg's head, and she had a cut of scream. Ah! Pure blood poured all over the carpet, and Sweaty began screaming, and Chris said, "What is that?" It showed him getting up off the couch, and then scene end. Behind Meg's scene, it showed her with black and red eyes, and her head cut off. Chris was able to be played, so I clicked on him. Okay, this is a video game. I'm like forgetting that a video game is being played here. Chris was able to be played, so I clicked on him this time and was able to move him. I knew SETI, they just cannot get Stewie's fucking name right, was going to kill him. I tried moving him outside the house so I could save him out there when it went into first person. And I went outside, the window opened, and before I could look up the screen, and a blood red screen and turned black, and then the first, like, this person is just throwing together, I feel like a really bad 2006 AI wrote this creepypasta. And then a blood red screen, and then turned black in the first person mode. I was tied up, and I could see Sweaty, and he looked angry, and he said, "So many souls to play with." Then I heard him scream, and he was dead to like Meg. I got freaked out and tried to Alt F4 and Alt Tab, but it would not work, and I even unplugged the computer, but it would not shut off. As a message saying, "Nicholas Avila, your dorm, there is no escaping it." It cut to Lois that yelled, "Peter! Go check on the kids, tell them your dinner's ready." Peter opened sweaty doors and gasped, "Oh my god." And he teleported to an open field with fire everywhere. Peter's face was nothing but fear. He was painting right, so when I went right and then the Sonic drowning music played, and I was Sweaty, who floating chasing Peter, so it went right and ran Stewie and laughed, but then Peter fell down the stairs because he was not paying attention, and after he fell down the stairs, he was dead. His body looked hyper-realism and real-life blood on Peter's body. You've heard of hyper-realistic, but now we've got hyper-realism. Then Peter's was dead with black eyes, blood all over him. Lewis was the only one left. Lewis said, "Out F nowhere, where the hell she was in Danish." And it was dark sound while soothing sad piano music played, not like the first one where Peter. So I went right for about 2 minutes, and then the music stopped, and I heard an evil laugh was sitting Stewie. And then Stewie ran of the Lois, and his hyper-ultra-realistic face came on my screen for about 7 minutes, and then is aid 0.0 heard the laugh again. He said, "I am God," and Lewis' scream was heard. Then this popped up. I don't know, some sort of characters that are not English. Then it tends to black, and it was over. Then it was Stewie slide down a sewer. I was surprised. Sad depressing piano music played, and it was sad I was able to walk Stewie to the right. Then he looked super sad. As he walked, Meg was the first he said sorry to for not giving you a good life. "I am sorry for everything I've done to you." As he walked further, there was dead Chris. He said, "You may have not been the smartness, sniff, but I love you, big brother." As I walked him right, there was Lewis. "Sorry for always trying to kill you, Mom. I had no idea I would regret this, and it was the away I wish I never let Hat Demon take control over me." The dead Peter, Father, you may be dumb, but I always have enjoyed or tied together. I wish we could did again, he said with tears in his eyes. Then he walked past Brain's grave and said, "Brain, you're my biggest friend. You're like a brother to my best friend. Had so many fun times, even though some of them were bad. I'm glad I did it with you." Him crying. kept on walking some spikes. It said press Z to jump. I completely forgot this was a video game still. I pressed it and Sweaty died on the spikes. The game crashed. Shit was crazy. I took the disc out and destroyed it like I should have in the first place. And then my friend's ghost Bob said, I am glad I am now at peace knowing that evil game will haunt no one. I thought this was scary, so I went to bed and tried to forget about it. When I diced to the right about it, here the end. That was one of the stories of all time. What the fuck? I should not have... I saw the viewers going down because most people want to hear, like, a funny, bad story and not just random words that don't make any sense at all. Holy shit. Lewis' scream was heard. I really forced that one because it was a Family Guy story. But that right there is why I don't read longer stories, because if they're bad, it's really bad. Literally sweaty word soup. Absolutely. Oh god, that's really long. Ooh, Laughing SpongeBob. I like SpongeBob. Do you guys like SpongeBob? Laughing SpongeBob. Hi, I want to begin by saying I am a very big SpongeBob fan, and one day I was at a garage sale and found an old SpongeBob DVD. It was season 6. I was very happy I found this since I didn't have this season. I bought the DVD for $3. When I got home, I opened the DVD case and spent hours watching all my favorite episodes, and after finishing the last episode, I found there was one disc left. However, it didn't have any SpongeBob artwork on it and was simply a white disc. I put it in my DVD, and it took me to the menu with a completely white background. I clicked start, and the intro started. However, there was no audio besides a slowed down version of the SpongeBob theme song. The intro itself was slowed down, and also SpongeBob didn't play flute on his nose, it simply cut to the title card. However, there wasn't any text in the title card, and sad music was playing in the background. Then began with SpongeBob standing in the corner of his bedroom. He was shaking and making weird grunting noises, and a static sound was heard. It did this for about 10 seconds before it cut to the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob was walking towards the door, but walking with his head down and looked sad. He went into the Krusty Krab and went into the kitchen, but instead of starting to make Krabby Patties, he began to grind against the grill with his spatula. The static sound began again, but much louder, and SpongeBob was making grunting noises again. But this time he was in pain. Mr. Krab then comes in and begins yelling at him, asking him what the hell he was doing. However, SpongeBob didn't reply, and the static noise began to get louder and then cut black before showing SpongeBob with no face and chins? Chinese? Yo, Will, thank you for the 6 months of membership. No face? I'm gonna guess it's no face and chins. Happy 6 months, by the way. No chins text, and then we see SpongeBob sitting, shaking. A soft laugh was heard from him, but it soon got louder and louder, and the laugh didn't sound like SpongeBob's normal laugh, but it sounded more demented. The static noise began to get even louder, and it cut to a close-up of SpongeBob's face. He had no pupils, and it was very dark. The episode then ended. I wondered why Nickelodeon would ever do something like this, but some questions will never be answered. Alright, so that was a pretty bad story. Not really much interesting going on, but you notice how much easier that was for me to read than the last one? And that's saying a lot because this story did not have a single period in it. In fact, it didn't even have a comma until like the very end of the story. But somehow it read like 200 times more smoothly and clearly than the last one. So good on you, Laughing SpongeBob. Really not sure what even happened in that. That was kind of a situation where I just read words. Ooh, we got another poem. Sapphire's Love. Who's Sapphire? Seasonal cruelty. Jesus. He could use his own holes. True. That's what I do. Opening up a bunch of stories. I love you. Okay, Killy Lily we already did. Lily we have not done. Okay, let's try and find a short one. Okay, wait. Let's try and do a short one that is not video game or TV related. Let's check out seasonal cruelty. Please help me. I woke up a few days ago in the middle of a snow-covered field, and I have no idea what's going on. I can't seem to move. Whoever has put me here has paralyzed me completely and mutilated me in unimaginable ways. I'd scream for help, but I can't move my mouth. Sharp stones and other small objects have been placed around my face to create a cruel caricature. The friend who has done this to me has taken small objects and pushed them into my face. Outwardly it looks like I'm smiling, but inwardly I am screaming in agony. Yo, Eric C., thank you for the $10. And I will look for Star Trek theme one. That actually seems like a really good idea. It's so cold. Whatever decided to do this to me has barely given me anything to keep myself warm. A tattered hat has been placed upon my head, and a tattered piece of material has been wrapped around my neck. They do nothing to relieve the pain of this exposure, and only serve to humiliate me. I ache for something I could drape over myself so I could warm myself. The pain in my face is nothing compared to the razor-sharp cold. I could remove the tattered clothes and run away from this place, but I have only been cruelly altered. My limbs have been removed. My legs have been taken clean off, and so have my arms. I am now little more than a body with a head on top. 2 sticks have been crudely stabbed into my torso. I don't know who or what did this to me. I can only assume that this is how they get their twisted kicks. As much as my cold hurts my body, I am learning to fear the heat. Yesterday the snow stopped and the sun came out. At first I was glad some heat would get my battered body, but as I warmed up, I felt the pain worse than anything before. It felt as if I was being doused in flames, as if I was being roasted alive inside an oven. For hours I begged in agony for the pain to stop and the cold to return. A child walked past me for a few moments ago with his mother. The child walked up to me. He played around with the things on my face and placed more snow onto my body. The child was smiling as he mutilated me. I desperately tried to scream for him to stop, but nothing happened. Soon his mother took him away and they both walked off, smiling. Please help me. I can't take the pain anymore. I'm alone and confused. I have no idea how I got here or why I'm here. Why do people take such pleasure in my suffering? And why did the child call me a snowman as he grinned at me? Yo, the fucking twist on this one, bro! I am actually fucking blown away. Holy shit. Slow-mo Panda, thank you for the $2. I've not seen Interface by Umami. It sounds delicious, though. That actually fucking got me, dude. I mean, I'm not scared by it, but the twist, I was not expecting that. Oh my lord. That was great. Guys, I need to start working out more so I can flex on you guys on stream. I wanted to flex right now, but it's not impressive enough yet. Once I'm shredded, you guys will see. Or not once I'm shredded, but once my muscles are bigger. You guys will see. You'll all see. Alright, smile.pny. The following took place at my house on October 13th, 2011. Friday the 13th. One dark night at 12 a.m. I got bored and decided to go on my computer. I started it up, and that's when things got creepy. The Windows logo was dark red and distorted, and it said under the red letters, I was horrified. Then it went straight to my desktop. That's strange, I thought. Maybe my computer has a virus. I checked my hard drive. Everything was erased. Everything except one file, smile.pny. I hesitatingly clicked on it. It was a video. It was just 52 seconds long. The first 3 seconds of the video was just pitch black. Then I saw a pony. A gray pony with spiky hair the color of blood. Her left ear was torn off completely. She had no eyes and her sockets were bleeding. Her legs were covered in scratches. Her stomach was torn open and acid was spilling out, along with blood and guts. We've had like 2 fucking gory ones in a row. I got even more terrified when she slowly turned her head to face me. She had a smile stretched all the way to her ears. Her teeth were jagged, sharp, and bloody. When she opened her mouth, all that came was a loud, static sound, but she mouthed the word, smile. I tried to X the video out, but it wouldn't let me. The pony opened her mouth once again, but the static sound didn't come out. Instead, she said in a demonic whisper, "Smile for me now." The video shut itself off. Horrified, I tried to turn the computer off, but an error message popped up. It said, "I cannot let you turn off this computer." I started sobbing, but curiosity got the best of me. Wait, am I still alive? Okay, I am. The error message went off. Then I heard something, like somebody singing, or something singing. It was the same demonic whisper that the pony said, "Smile for me now." It was in the tune of "Hush now, quiet now." This is a song that people know? Hush now, smile now, your life is now behind you. Hush now, smile now, I know I will find you. Phew, at least that's over, I said nervously. But then it started another verse. This wasn't part of the singing. Hush now, smile now, I know where you live now. Hush now, quiet now, I'm going to find you. Yep, so that's it. You could say, you know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. Or should I say, curiosity killed me. Okay. I fucking what? What happened in that story? Yo, thank you for the 5,000 W's, but enough. Dude, it does not matter how much you send. And the fact that anybody sends me money on the internet is just fucking insane. So you could send 1 cent and I would be like, yo, what the fuck are people doing? Hush now, smile now, I know where you live now. Alright, that was really bad. Let's, I think we have one open to the S section. Let's see if there's any Star Trek related stuff here. Next page. There's so many S stories, because there's so many things that begin with S. Okay, What? There's no Star Trek. I mean, there might be, like, Star Trek related ones, but there's nothing, like, titled Star Trek. And there's only one bad Star Wars creepypasta? Like, bruh. That's actually wild. Oh my god, I need to urinate, you guys. Why is there so much pee in me? Like, it's like, once I start drinking, like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, like, when you're, like, drinking alcohol, you break the seal, like, the first time that you piss in the night, then you often, like, have to piss many times after that. But if you don't piss at all, sometimes you don't have to piss for a while. But that just happens to me when I drink, like, regular liquids. Alright, I'm gonna turn up the music, and I will be right back. You guys don't go anywhere, or I'll know, and I will show up at your house at 1 a.m. and make you unhappy. We're back in action. Story of the Blanks. That sounds scary. Oh my god, I just borked. Wait, what'd you guys hear? There's more music channel if you want to hear something that's good. Well, that's subjective. Ooh, this story's called Stop, That's Scary. The Black Room. It's the second scariest color for a room. The first scariest is the red room. The back room. The Bakers. Ooh, there's a lot of good the stories. The Beatles. Replace. Okay, I've got like a million tabs open. I don't think you guys can see quite the, Hey, it's Feral Possum. What's up, friend? Alright, you're here just in time to learn the story of the Banks. He fell in the toilet with hyper-realistic blood. Alright, here's the story of the Blanks. Oh wait, is the music still super loud? It's like not crazy loud, but it's too loud. Let me just switch that up real quick. I want to make sure you guys can hear the molesting tones of my voice. I was gonna say seductive, but then I was like, oh, let's not go too intense. But then I picked a different word that's much worse than that. Anyway. This is the story of the Blanks. Surely many of you have heard of that series, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and some of you might know that there's a related creepypasta named Cupcakes. And I'm sure you all know that video game creepypastas are very common. Yes, we're well aware at this point. Well, I'm not going to talk to you about a creepypasta about a video game. Believe it or not, I'm going to talk to you about a real video game, based on My Little Pony, worthy of being considered a real creepypasta. This game doesn't have great graphics. They're pretty much NES-style graphics, but it doesn't diminish its impact. I had no idea that this was another Brony story, guys, I'm sorry. In the plot, you start off by using Apple Bloom. At first, it's not a big deal. Apple Bloom walks in, meets Twilight Sparkle, and both ponies walk to the Everfree Forest to see Zecora. When Apple Bloom and Twilight go to her home, something blocks the path. Here's where it starts to get interesting. Twilight decides to stay and think about how to get around what was blocking the path. While Apple Bloom goes back on the road when you suddenly see a pony going further into the forest and you'll have to follow her. In doing so, you'll get to an unknown town. After you talk with the yellow pony in one of the houses, you'll find a red gem. When you get it, go back to the yellow pony and talk with her. Then you'll have to solve a small, but not very difficult maze, and interact with a lever that you'll find. After doing all of this, you'll have to go to a forest path in the north of town. On the right of a house in the forest is a well. Interact with it, and you'll have the key to the house. Use it to enter house, and well, at that moment, you'll have to see for yourself. Unfortunately, the game is no longer available. What is this story? This is like, the scariness of this story is how disappointed it leaves you. It literally says, you'll have to see for yourself, and then also says, unfortunately, the game is no longer available, so we can't see for ourselves. Gosh darn it. There was nothing scary there. I don't even know. It's just like explaining that there's a video game that exists but also doesn't exist anymore. The story is called Stop. Since I was 6, I am 12 now, I've enjoyed playing Pokemon. Fuck, okay, we're not doing another... We need something that's not video games or television for a little while. We just need a small break from it. The Black Room. I woke up in a room. I couldn't see anything, and then I realized it was just an empty black room. I was strapped to a chair. A door slowly opened with a burst of white. I was temporarily blinded. I saw a black figure walk over to me, slowly creeping towards me as I struggled to get out. No luck, it was bolted to the ground. I asked him who he was. I am the bringer of nightmares, the bringer of death. I am your own personal hell. I laughed and said, "How long did that take you to come up with?" In a soft voice he whispered in my ear, "Ignorance. Such ignorance." I felt a cold steel plunge into my chest. Now, will you only speak when you addressed? What? Now, will you only speak when addressed? Yes. I managed to sputter through blood. He laughed maniacally.
You are so unaware of true pain. You are unaware of fear.
I coughed up more blood, the warm liquid seeping through my lips.
You are unaware of death.
I was plunged into darkness after those words. Okay, you died. You got killed in the Black Room. Nice. You've heard of the Black Room. Oh. I don't know. I've never gotten a not safe for work warning on this website before, so I think we might want to leave this page. Just in case. Okay, this is kind of another... Okay, we'll come back to this one. You have died. Please, Backrooms fic. Okay, we got a little poem. Break it up with a poem. Poes are good. Sarah's poem.
Little child, why are you crying? Little child, were you just hiding through the door without the key? Your own form I cannot see. You're trying to escape my gaze. Your fear me, sending me into a craze. Little child, are you losing your humanity? Little child, please hold on to your sanity. Me ripping for your fresh red blood out, really fresh. I was never in the closet or under the bed. I was always in your head.
Very bad. Terrible. Truly awful. Seasonal cruelty. I should have known that it was a snowman from the title. I, like, completely forgot about the title of the story for that one. Ooh, smile.jeff. Oh, this is a scary picture, guys. I honestly still somewhat scared of this picture. Still somewhat scared. Okay, so this is smile.jeff. Smile.jeff was originally posted on Know Your Meme forum made by a creepypasta fan. The image contains Jeff the Killer's head and eyes with Smile Dog's mouth and teeth. Jeff's skin is also a little darker compared to the original photo. The image is said to appear in people's nightmares if you look at it during nightmare. Like Smile JPG and the original SpongeBob bootleg image, it can traumatize your mind. It actually happened to my friend once. I completely forgot that Jeff the Killer was in the thumbnail. He's been mentioned once before. It actually happened to my friend once. She thought the image was interesting. I mean, any human would think it that way, but she couldn't stop looking at it. Once you get attached to the image, there's no turning back. She claims that, later that night, she had a nightmare that face/person was chasing her with a knife. She screamed and woke up, suddenly finding a knife on her nightstand. She had no such item in her room before the nightmare. Then she saw long, wicked scratch marks across her arm. It was still bleeding. She still can't get the image out of her head, even to this day, no matter how many times someone gets off the subject. The people who read the forum online were creeped out, but ignored it the next day. Then their nightmares with the face occurred 3 days later. No knife was on that person's nightstand, but it all depends on what the face is doing in the nightmare. By all means, it is something scary or horrifying. Just thinking that Jeff the Killer likes to kill and Smile Dog gives people horrible nightmares explains that this is a mixture of the two put together. But no one still knows how the image does things to their mind, or who created it. All they know is what the image does to them if they look at it in the night. Could this be a new paranormal creature, aside from Jeff and the others? I don't know about you, but I would never sleep again with that image in my head. Oh my god, the image full screened on its own. Oh my god, my computer is involuntarily zooming in on the image. Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped doing the Chills voice, because I was like, there are many people out there that do not like the Chills voice at all. And I want to continue having those people watch my live stream. I think I might do a set of curls, of dumbbell curls. At the end of the stream, I'm going to do a set of dumbbell curls, so stick around if you want to see what perfect form with curls looks like. Also, if you want to see what perfect penis looks like... No, that's not... I need to stop just saying random words. Music channel in the chat if you're interested. Also, like the stream if you don't mind. I hate myself. Why do I say the things that I say? Oh, God. I have such a filter issue, and I'm so glad that, like... any, like, slurs are not part of my natural vocabulary, because if they were, they would come out constantly on stream, because words just come out of my face sometimes. Alright, this is related to the last story. SmileDog.jpg is in my dreams. Have you ever dreamt of something beautiful? I have. I dreamt that I'm in a pretty and luxurious place, as if I don't want to leave there. Or have you dreamt of anything so weird like running butt naked outside while everyone else is looking? I have. But have you ever dreamt of something so horrifying or close, like getting wounded badly and suddenly waking up? I have. Well, pretty much all of us have nightmares, but have you ever dreamt of something odd? Maybe you could say yes, or maybe you could say no, or hell no. Well, let me tell you something about one of my dreams. It all started when I was standing in front of my father's home. It was normal, well, that's what I thought. But when I turned to my right, I saw a dog not too tall for my height, but not too short. This is the fucking Goldilocks of dogs. Staring at me. I backed away, but it started to jump on me like crazy.
Hey, get away from me!
I screamed, but it was no use. If I run, it won't have any effect. I backed away, but the more that I moved, the more that it bit me. My father showed up and broke up the fight. The dog suddenly disappeared from our sight, but it left me a giant flesh wound which bleeds so badly. The wound is at a lower base of my arm. It starts at the elbow and ends at my wrist. I asked my dad what to do, but he told me to just wash it and leave it, not even caring if I hurt or if I could be poisoned by the dog's bite. But the weirdest part was that the dog highly resembles SmileDog.jpg! Exclamation point. You know, the dog that appears in dreams, making people insane. It looks like one in the picture of the Siberian Husky above. Well, it was pure black, and only a small part of white on his chest, and also its nose slightly pointed. I'm not sure if this is the dog thing I saw has anything to do with Smile.jpg. All I know is that it would haunt me for a long time. I'm not sure if it's a Siberian Husky or just a stray dog, but hey, it's better that it's just a dream than having a real flesh wound, right? Spooky. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely spooked. Alright, let's do a Slender story, since he's also in the thumbnail, and I feel like I owe you guys that.
Joe from Family Guy?
That was a terrible Joe.
Hey, Peter.
That's the thing that I'm best at saying. Ramiel Joseph, $2. Is this New Year's countdown stream starting early? Thank you for the $2, and God, I wish we could do that. I might actually be going out tomorrow for like the first time in years on a New Year's, but I still haven't decided yet. Anything that requires freaking like actual socializing terrifies me so deeply, man. Like with my friends, it's chill, but once there's extra people, I'm like, am I gonna be acceptable in this environment? Alright, the story is called Slender. He's just standing there. Still. It's been 2 months since I started seeing him. I walk through Roswell Park every day after school. Usually I stay for longer to study for my GCECs and A-levels. I'm not gonna try and read that again. Since it's winter, it does get dark pretty quickly. But lately, I've been noticing a disturbance in the woods. I realized a lot of the trees were dying very quickly, so it didn't seem like it was because of the cold. It may sound cliche, but do you ever get the feeling that you're being watched? But the weird thing, it seems, is like being watched by the trees, or something in the trees. I end up panicking and running from him. But something disastrous happened a few weeks later. I ran and turned around. My eyes slowly adjusted to the light and saw it. He was tall, around 9 feet tall, and I couldn't even see his face. He wore a black suit, and it looked like he had more than 2 arms. They were appendage-like. Aren't arms appendages? Like, anything that's... Anyway. Anywho. I stood on the road, unable to speak or move. Then I was run over by a car that sped off in the night. The last thing I saw was my sight being distorted, and him looking over my crippled body. Still. I woke up screaming to the sight of the light. There was no silence. There was a cast on my arm, and lots of needle points in my neck connected to a tube. It didn't feel like a hospital. Way too quiet. No beeping or doctors or nurses talking. Just silence. I got up and limped my way through the almost abandoned-looking hospital. But what was that thing? What did he want from me? I found tapes in a dusty and decayed old cupboard. I had to use some force to crack open the possibly 100-year-old lock. The tapes looked brand new. I took out the bag and limped through the hospital. I found a long hallway that looked like an exit at the end. It stood, staring at me. All the lights suddenly turned on one by one. At the end, I saw him again. This bastard really wanted to get me. I realized how badly he must have wanted to get me.
Come on, you son of a bitch! Come get me!
All the lights shut off. I turned and ran. It seemed I'd been doing that a lot in the past couple weeks. My limp slowly got worse, but I was quite athletic, so I kept up my strength. I heard children playing and laughing.
Where did that come from?
Through a bunch of dirt and debris, I saw a slightly cracked window. I realized this was probably my only exit. I threw myself towards the window and flew out of the building. Luckily, I was only on the 2nd floor, so the only damage done were shards of glass in my arms and legs. I couldn't even tell what time of day it was. The sky was completely gray, no sign of sun or moon. After limping, I kept telling myself, he will forget about me. He will forget about me. He will forget about me. I finally arrived home and felt a wave of relief. I can go get all of this shit off of me and go to bed. That bloke was probably just some stupid prank from one of my mates. I walked through my drive and saw blood on the doorstep. I was shocked in fear again. I told myself again, he isn't real. He isn't real. He isn't real. Written in blood on the door was a circle with a cross through the middle. That's the Slenderman sign! Inside he stood, his whole body arced. My vision became fuzzy. Dead May! What does that mean? Oh, it's I am dead backwards! That's so scary! Alright, guys. It's clobbering time. Let's reset this transform. Oh no, I'm backwards. Let me flip horizontal. This is what I actually look like, guys. That's terrifying. Let's do some curls. I'm gonna sing I Miss You by Blink-182 while I do this. Everybody can feel free to leave the stream. Actually, don't fucking leave yet. If you're gonna leave the stream, check out my music channel first. People are gonna, like, actively want to destroy my music career before it even starts because I'm so fucking annoying with my constantly talking about it. Alright, let's get it. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody and always. This sick, strange darkness comes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I stared, I counted all the spiders catching things and eating their insides, like indecision to call you and hear your voice of treason. Will you come home and stop this pain tonight? Stop this pain tonight. It's your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. I miss you, don't waste your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. I miss you. What are the lyrics after that? This set is never gonna be end. These are too light. What comes after that? Does it just do the... How does I miss you go? I miss you. I don't have any roommates. I live alone or I would not do that. Ugh. 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 Nobody clip this, guys. Just be normal. I wanna go to failure with this set. How do I sing I miss you? Don't waste your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. I miss you, don't waste your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. I miss you. Okay. Wait, I feel like there are more lyrics to the song I Miss You. Oh god, dude. I'm not keeping count. I did leave on my spoopy music. Everybody should try to be physically fit. Not in like a cringe way, but in like a, if you want to do that, you should do it and not be scared. Because nobody cares. You should just do what you want to do. Okay. I'm not actually like done, but I'm done with that set. Ah! Alright, guys. No, just like, I don't fucking know. I feel like I always have to caveat like telling people to get healthy because like some people hate talk about getting healthy. But you'll probably feel better. And now you get the flex. Oh, that does not look impressive at all. Anyway, use that as a reference point for how jacked I look this time next year, 2023, January 30th. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. I will plug my music channel again. Your face fit is in your face fit is cringy. I think as long as people are working out for the right reasons, it's good. Anyway, later, guys. Skate on, drink a lot of water. Fuck, that was okay. You guys actually gave me so much adrenaline to like keep that set going, so thank you for that. Anyway, peace out, guys. I opened OBS that does not need to be open. I care for you a lot, except I don't at all because I don't know who you are. I have to always like, because I appreciate you guys, but I don't want to like develop parasocial things. So I hope you're doing well, but I also don't know you at all, and I will probably never know you. But if you come in the chat, we can interact with one another, and it'll be a nice time. But, yeah, peace out. Anyway, take it easy, guys. You guys are the realest. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Drink a lot of fucking water. Later.